Knockout eFootball console is here as we ready ourselves to kickstart day 3 at the FIFA E World Cup Finals 2025. Riyadh has seen 2 days of intense group stage action, but today that intensity amplifies with both the quarterfinals and semi-finals. Our nations need to turn up or they will be sent home. That is the theme of today, or that's what I'm saying anyway. I cannot wait for this. Welcome back to the SEF Arena. Welcome back if you have joined us over the past 2 days as well. And I want to introduce, as always, our mega lineup we have here. Chris Dunn, Alia Harvey and Harry Channon. Welcome, all 3 of you. I just feel like we're upping the ante on day 3, aren't we?
Massively up in the ante. It just feels like the first 2 days went in the blink of an eye. But this is when the real competition starts. Knockout football in its best form.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel like it's a bit more stressful around the arena today, Alia?
I think there's a lot more silence. I think even for us as talent, we've noticed that we feel like there's a lot more pressure, even looking down into the studio. They're not really interacting with each other like they were yesterday, so I'm excited for knockouts.
Harry, what have we gone from? Gear 3 to Gear 7? Is there even a Gear 7?
We're definitely moving up the gears, Rachel. There's no friends in knockout football anymore. You can't be the same jovial self you were in the group stages the last 2 days. You have to put your best foot forward now. It's a completely different kettle of fish, and by the end of the day, we're going to have our 2 finalists.
It is, though, 2 legs. Will most of the teams want to just wrap it up by those 2 legs? Or are some of them actually going, you know what, golden goal could suit me?
I think it's one of those that it's going to be individual per team, but at the same time, I think you probably try not to think about it too much. I think you go in, you play your game and see what happens.
Golden goal, though. Hey, come on, guys. Wouldn't we all love to see a golden goal at some point today?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Definitely.
Alia?
I think we'd love to see it. I don't think they would. But
No.
I think it's important to remember they've all played each other twice already, just on different days. Today, they're just going to have to do it back to back.
In terms of other changes, I guess the draft is one of those. So teams have gone out, they can use the players to add to their roster to bolster their chances. Have we got an insight into what teams have been doing overnight? Any changes that may have happened, Harry?
I think we'll have a good look at them here in the knockout stages. Obviously, the team that you've fielded in the group stages, you want to kind of stick with. You know what works, you know the players and their tendencies in the game. But what was interesting is not only if you finish first in the group, you get a 4th placed team in the knockout stages from the other group. You also get to choose first from the group of players from the 2 eliminated nations from your group. So yeah, there is definitely an element of looking out for some new faces, for some new nations here.
Yeah, so the other 2 days, of course, everyone's played the same teams. They've been in the group, they've played each other twice, the nations they've got to know. Now we've just ripped up that rule sheet because they get to play the other side of the table. They don't know much about them. Will they have been studying that overnight, Chris?
100%. I think you would have, well, you should have been at least having a look at how those teams have been playing typically, how their games are being going, their tendencies, and how you match up well against them. May well be some formation changes in there. That draft might have come into consideration when you do see who you were going up against. That's maybe something some of the players could have thought about. But yeah, I think everyone will just be looking to play their game, but making sure they've done their research.
Alia, Harry said he didn't think maybe there would be many changes because obviously they know tried and tested formulas from yesterday and the day before. But the likes of a Mexico, who were 4th in their group, going up table toppers Italy, would they be looking at that going, well, maybe I need to make some changes because they've got such strength in the Italian squad?
I think the Mexico team, they conceded the most amount of goals, and coming into today, they're the only team with negative goal difference. So if I were them, I'd be looking to add more defenders to the team to try and not concede as much, especially that they're coming up against Italy, who are, in my opinion, one of the strongest in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of maybe dark horses, underdogs, can we call anyone an underdog now we're at quarterfinals who's still left in this final 8?
You probably shouldn't, but there are a couple of nations that I think you definitely wouldn't fancy going up against. It seems a bit strange to call Poland dark horses because they ended up first in their group. They won 5 back-to-back games yesterday, 5 wins in a row. They're coming in on a hot streak. Yeah, today's a new day, but I don't think anyone really expected that. They beat the reigning champions Indonesia to the top spot and have forced Indonesia into a pretty tricky round one game.
They got the most points as well across both groups yesterday and the day before. 22 they managed, did Poland. Poland are in it, Indonesia are in it, Brazil are in it, and Brazil actually won the Axe Player of the Day yesterday with Henriquinho, who got the accolade today. Oh, goes to Mexico and Andre Pumas. Well deserved, you three?
I would say so. I think, you know, Mexico kind of came in as, I don't want to say an unknown package. We know of those players, but we weren't sure what really to expect. Come through and ground out results. I mean, as I said, they were one of those teams who do concede a lot, but I tell you what, they score some bangers every single game. And I've seen the highlight package, so I know that it's coming, but some of the goals they've been scoring over this past couple of days are being outstanding. Yes, okay, we love to see the balls crossed in the box. We love to see the passing moves, but just some of their execution around their chances. I think what it kind of leads to when you see a team that's coming through to this stage with a negative goal difference, when things are going badly, they can go pretty bad, don't get me wrong, they will concede plenty, but when they have their opportunities, they are backing.
We called them underdogs, I think, Harry, at the beginning of this tournament. Have they put that kind of name to the side now and are very much contenders?
Yeah, I would say so, and I think it's likely due to this result in the end. That 16th minute goal helped them win 1-0 over Indonesia, and when you put out a statement win like that, everyone looks at Indonesia, Italy, you know, the big nations, Brazil, to be those challenging towards the top. But when you're putting in good finishes like that, I mean, a couple of really, really good goals from Andre Pumas, I think, yeah, you wouldn't want to face them in the knockout stages. They'll be really tricky to beat.
And I guess you look at Mexico and you go, oh, Andre Pumas, okay, today he's our Axe Player of the Day, or was from yesterday. But then you go the Arsenal style as well. There's two really strong players in that Mexico team.
And they're also a new nation. I think this is the first time they've made it to the groups and now making it to the knockouts. They have the pressure of not just being able to see their opponents, but you can hear the crowd, you've got the arena, they can hear everything that we're saying. So I think giving them the underdog title was right, and I think now they've got a fair chance. Tough opponent with Italy, but I would love to see them go through.
We say they're underdogs. Do you think they expected to get this far?
I think they would have had confidence.
Harry's
in
nodding
themselves,
over there.
to get out of the groups, but they have been dealt a bit of a tough hand going up against Italy, who I think probably for me have looked the most impressive team, probably the most consistent. So yeah, going up against Italy is a really tall order, but they'll be happy to have made it out of the groups. Yeah,
they'll be happy, and hopefully they're not too stressed, because I feel like it does feel a little bit more stressful around the arena. Obviously, the stakes are much higher today, being knockout football. I wonder if it feels that way as well down on the studio floor, where all the players are getting themselves ready. And to find out for us, let's head down to our reporter CJ to get an update.
Yeah, thanks, Rachel. I am down on the floor. I've actually found myself behind the DJ deck because quarterfinals day, the playoffs have started, and I can just feel the amount of tension in the arena right now. So I thought I'd just play some soft tunes, maybe listen to my beautiful Australian voice just to calm the nerves of these players. But boy, oh boy, the difference from the group stage to the playoffs is crazy. You can feel the tension. It's do or die now, elimination point, and I cannot wait for these quarterfinals to get started. I'd say it's been a pretty good start from you guys up top as well, but Harry, Chris, you've probably got 5-10% improvement in you guys, so look forward to watching the rest of that pre-show.
You probably should have gone on a wide shot and just seen these guys' faces. I'm not happy with you, CJ.
What?
Tumbleweed.
First of all, he grasses me up yesterday. And now I'm getting slighted, honestly.
He doesn't do any work, Rachel. This guy works for about an hour a day and has the cheek to say that about us. Honestly, we work hard. We're grafters up here.
I didn't even give us any music. What the hell?
He didn't say our names, so
Didn't.
I think CJ thinks we're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you, Alia.
Maybe.
I wouldn't value his opinion, Alia.
What music would you play to calm down the players or calm down yourselves if you were going out to compete in the quarterfinals? Alia, I'll ask you this one because you've been there and done it.
I personally love bossa nova covers of popular songs. If I'm doing the dishes or if I'm gaming, that's what I listen to. It really calms me down, so that's what I would do.
I don't want to calm down. I want to just take that energy and gas myself up. I'm going as hard as possible instead.
I like a bit of smooth jazz.
No, you don't. Now you're a liar.
I do. I love jazz piano. It's my favorite genre. But in this kind of occasion, you want something to G yourself up, I think, especially if you're viewed widely as the underdog like Mexico and some of our other nations into round one. You probably want something to get that heart rate going early.
Well, you've heard about some of our unusual music choices today, and a lot more as well. You've seen CJ on the decks Should we get back to eFootball console and see exactly who's playing who? That would be wise, I think. Right, here are the matches coming your way. The quarterfinals, all remember, being played at the same time. They kick off in about 20 minutes time at 11 o'clock our local time here. Italy, Mexico. We've already mentioned this one a little bit. That's up at the top of the bracket. And then we've got Poland, who we've also mentioned, taking on Turkey. Poland, 22 points. They got table toppers in Group B up against Turkey. And then maybe a really open lower bracket because we've got Saudi Arabia and Japan there as well. I have left the second quarterfinal out for a certain reason. It's Indonesia taking on Brazil. And that's why, Harry. Why am I leaving that one to last?
365 days ago to the exact day these two met on this very stage, with the Garuda drums beating as loud as you could hear, and put on one of the best finals that eFootball has ever seen. I'm really surprised to see them match up this early, and I think both Indonesia and Brazil, their players will be thinking, oh no, we have to go up against them again this early on. Wow, I mean, we have to send one of them home. I cannot pick between them.
Oh, I don't think any of us can. And Indonesia, of course, were the champions this time 12 months ago, taking home the top prize. And with that in mind, let's have a look. If they were able to do it again this year, what they would be rewarded with. Well, the champion, you can see, gets $30,000. But we actually want to start at quarter-final stages because everybody competing today, they get $6,000, and if they're to round out the day and make it to tomorrow, well, that goes up to $18,000. That's an increase of $12,000 just for, I'm going to say, winning 2 games. It sounds so easy. Yeah, why are we all not down there?
Nice day's work, to be fair, that, isn't it? You managed to get yourself up to that kind of price. But that's where we're at in the stage, right? It's the knockout stages. Every single game you win now is massively influential.
I know. Oh, it's going to be a big day. And like I mentioned, you go up $12,000 if you make it to Championship Saturday. That's tomorrow. It's going to be very exciting. Okay, well, you've heard from the 3 casters here and myself and CJ on the floor. There's a few more members of our party as well. Should we introduce you to our 2 commentators, Abdulaziz and Cole? Good morning, chaps. How are you both doing over there?
Not too bad at all. We're having a good time, aren't we? We're always enjoying ourselves here in the casting booth. You're looking forward to some incredible eFootball today, Abdulaziz?
Yes, of course. Good morning to everyone. Yes. I mean, today is the day. We have probably the biggest matches in this tournament. We have Indonesia against Brazil. We have also Italy against Mexico, I think. And also we have, I believe,
it's Saudi Arabia versus Japan,
Japan,
and Poland
Turkey
versus Turkey, the other games. And
all
I think for me, the host nation, Saudi Arabia, coming up in a big game against Japan is going to be thrilling. So all 4 quarterfinals will be excellent, and we'll be able to keep an eye on all of them at once, as well as our feature game.
I've actually got a burning question for the 2 of you as well. Music taste. What's your calming music before you go out and play? These 3 have given us some rogue options this morning.
Calming
so before
music,
a
what have you
tournament.
got?
Okay, go first, I'll go second.
Well, I mean, you asked earlier about what they'd play down there. I think, like, really some horrible hardcore, screamo, just to get in their heads. That's what I'd be blaring out. I'd put my own headphones on and play that out.
For me, no, nothing actually.
Oh,
Gets in his head.
Abdulaziz doesn't go for any music. Okay, that doesn't actually surprise me. That's very much like you.
I'm the most chill man in the world.
He's so cool. He's so calm. Nothing phases him. Guys, thank you so much. Enjoy casting these quarterfinals. They're going to be absolutely epic. Did it surprise you, Abdulaziz? No music.
I
silent.
just know that guy's just in ocean sounds and he's just staring down the screen. He's
Really?
so icy with
What
it.
I take from that is that Abdulaziz is just a psycho. I mean, there's no music. Like, who can live without music?
Cold as ice, but that just shows everyone's different, and I'd be intrigued to see what some of the players do and don't do, because a few of them obviously have their headphones on all the time. We think they might be listening to a coach, but I suspect a lot of them are listening to music to either calm them down or get them pumped up, as the case may be for Cole and Chris.
I think so. I think the benefit of being in the commentary booth is you actually get to see what they're saying to each other.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are actively speaking to each other. So I think that's going to be the case. And hopefully the commentators can give us some insight into what they're saying as well.
With 15 minutes to go before the quarterfinals start, Alia, take us back to when you were competing. What were the nerves feeling like at that moment?
Oh, I was terrified because that was my biggest and honestly my first proper tournament. And for it to be at a LAN representing England, you hear the national anthem playing and you're sort of just stood there thinking, oh my gosh, there's a crowd. My parents are watching. I was like, I don't want to disappoint anyone. But I think when I go out there, you just block out the noise. You honestly forget everything around you and you just focus on the game itself. And I think that's what a lot of these players are going to do today as well. It's just, I need to win, not just for me, but for my country.
Thankfully, no crowd in here today. They get the delight of having that tomorrow if they make it through to the final. Okay, well, we are ready. This is the time to welcome all our players here at the eFootball World Cup Finals featuring console. It is quarterfinals time, and I hope the players are locked in and ready.
My brother, he is one of the youngest here, one of the best here as well. He goes under the radar.
The team is feeling good. Now we are testing, last details. We hope to go through and, keep the positive mindset.
Yeah, we're now relaxed because we did what we wanted to do. First step, we qualified for the knockout stage.
We play really good. You play really good in attack, you play really good in defense. Just look.
I expect a very tough match. I think that it's going to be decided by the most minor details.
Welcome everybody to the FIFAe World Cup 2025 finals featuring eFootball on console. I am Veracity, joined alongside the lovely Milos. And Milos, how excited are you today to dive into not only our quarterfinals, but also semi-finals today?
Well, I'm sad to say that my words really fail me in a moment like this because the excitement is on another level. Over the past 2 days, we started with 12 national squads. Every one of them, one of the best on the planet. And now we're down to only 8. The craziest part of this is that they played 10 rounds to get here. There was a lot of space for error, but now it is single elimination. You make an error in your mashup and you're out of the running at the FIFAe World Cup.
And Milos, not only that, it is now a best of 2 aggregate. So players, I see you all ready and eager to get the show on the road. So let's welcome to the stage our very first team. It is Poland! The top of their group with 7 wins under their belt. Ostribuk and Zilo have already exceeded last year's top 12 result as the dynamic brother duo.
Next up, it's Turkey! And after a grueling group stage, they're back for the 2nd year in a row at the playoffs. Mujahid Nardagolazo, the stage is yours!
Give it up for Indonesia! With 20 points and being 2nd in Group B, Binong Boys and Shinx Elga have yet to be put through their paces this event.
The 2024 runners-up, Brazil! They faced mounting opposition throughout the whole tournament so far. Jay Victor and Henriquinho, they're looking to put this one to bed.
Your host nation, Saudi Arabia. Playing at home with fans eager to watch them play. It is up to Iniesta and Figo X to make it happen.
Up next, it's Japan! The team has left the past buried in 2024 as they forge a new path ahead. Accent test, it's all you.
Give it up for Italy! And mamma mia, what a showing of talent in this squad. Etorito, a player who has continued to be a world champion since 13, and Naples, the former player of AC Milan, joining him.
Last but not least, it's Mexico! We love an underdog story, and for them, it is well and truly alive and kicking. The Arsenal-style Andy Pumas have massively impressed here at the FIFA E World Cup. These are our 8 remaining teams here at the FIFA E World Cup console, and my God, is it heating up.
Players, I'm looking at each and every single one of you. This is your opportunity to make your nations proud. This is your last chance in the FIFA E World Cup. So studio, take it from here.
Thanks, Milos. Thanks, Veracity. I mean, that got me a little bit stressed out. All those last chance saloons there. I don't know what that made the players now feel like, but I was just watching them as well. And, you know, this is when the nerves start to settle in, and just what's at stake is really amplified in your brain, Chris.
I think like I used to play on a competitive level on a different game years and years ago, and sitting in like a hole somewhere, like or playing for nothing, that was nerve-wracking. Never mind represent your country. You're in this studio playing for some of them for life-changing money. There is so much on the line today, and it will start to become a big realization as soon as they're sat down. Those nerves will really start to kick in.
Harry, you know all of these players pretty well. In your opinion, which team are the most composed?
It was interesting because I was watching Indonesia's reaction and Brazil's reaction. Both seemed pretty muted. I mean, 3 out of the 4 players looked kind of ready to go, concentrated in the zone. The one player, Henriquinho, the new man who did not participate in this matchup 365 days ago, he looked ready for this. He was doing his usual, 5, holding up the 5, obviously a reference to Brazil's 5 World Cups, the most by a nation. Henriquinho looks ready for this. I mean, he was our Axe Player of the Day on day 1. They'll need a big performance from him here in the knockout stages to best last year's champions.
Alia, I'm looking again at the floor. Italy, they're the only team not sat down. Why would that be?
I think Italy are just really, really confident coming into this. In the group stages, all 7 of the games where they scored first, they then went on to win 5 of those. If they conceded first, they only lost 2. So I think Italy know if we score first, there's a very good chance we're making that semi-finals.
Well, you can see all our teams getting ready. Harry, who's had the biggest improvement over the last 12 months?
Compared to last year, I mean, just my eyes always focused Japan. I mean, last year they were absolutely devastated being knocked out in groups. Even though going into the last round of fixtures in the group stages, they had it within their grasp. This time, Axe and Tess, they've teamed up. They really have been solid throughout the group stages. Not flashy. When you look throughout their results, it reads like binary code because there's 0s, 1s, it's 1-0, it's 0-0, it's very close, tight games, but those two just look to be dangerous. When you look at those type of consistent results in the group stages, if you can translate that to the knockouts, they could go very far.
Well, obviously, we've already told you who's playing who, but let's just have a reminder, if you are just joining us, of the bracket and which nations have been drawn against each other in these quarterfinals, because we have some interesting clashes, that's for sure. Right, well, the first one then we have is Italy taking on Mexico. Remember how it worked from yesterday. If you topped your group, you would go up against the nation who was 4th in the opposite group. So that's what we see in Italy. Mexico, table toppers Italy, Mexico 4th. Indonesia and Brazil, they were 2nd and 3rd in their respective groups. And then we've got table toppers Poland up against 4th place Turkey. And again, 2nd and 3rd in terms of Saudi Arabia and Japan. Guys, which side of the draw would you like to be in when you're looking at that?
I think there's quite a disparity, to be fair. If I look at all 4 of those bottom teams, any one of them could make the grand final to me. I mean, look, we will have our favourites, but the top side, oh my word, it is absolutely stacked. I think what you got Italy, Brazil, Indonesia, all up there, all potential winners of this tournament. But I think that kind of shows the competition level that we're saying, look, anybody from the bottom side could get, of course, into that grand finals. Don't ever count out Mexico as well. I mean, there's so many squads here who could advance forward very, very quickly in this. will we get some surprises? I'd imagine we probably will, but I don't know where it's going to come from.
Alia, who's punching above their weight just to be in the quarterfinals?
I mean, well, that's a tough one, Rachel. I feel like we have to mention Japan just because in the group stages they had the least amount of goals scored. They only scored 6 goals and had 5 against them. And to finish third of the group coming into today, I think is quite incredible. But as we've mentioned, they are really, really calm. So, I mean, it's Saudi as well, and they are the host nation. Kind of want to see them go through, but yes, like Chris said, you cannot predict who's going to make that semifinals.
Yeah, talk about grabbing opportunities when they present themselves to you in terms of Saudi Arabia. Obviously, host nations, so they get here on merit for hosting FIFA World Cup, and they're quarterfinalists.
Yeah, and that's a real good testament to these two players as well, because sometimes you think, oh, well, free pass to get yourself to the tournament, yes, but then to then prove it and get through that group stage is really good for them. But I think as far as their performances go, though, it was a bit of a strange one because they would kind of lose some games where you're like, oh, well, you want to advance through, those are the kind of games you need to win. But then they were going to beat Brazil. So it's, you don't really know what you're going to get from Saudi Arabia. Maybe a little bit of inconsistency, but when the chips are down, it does feel as if that's a big momentum thing for them. If they're in those big games, it feels like they raised their level.
Yeah, just a quick one on last year and this year's host nation. Last year, they were just 2 points adrift from making the knockout stages. This year, they've gone one better. It's the nation as well with the most FIFA World Cup trophies, 3. That's the most. One of them, of course, in our commentary booth here today with us in 2015, Mr. Dunn. But yeah, looking forward to seeing how they can perform here today. I'm really looking forward to seeing the drama unfold.
I was going to say just that, such deep, rich history in terms of Saudi Arabia in esports and what they've created here in Riyadh as well. It's amazing, and then that creates the depth that we see and all this talent coming through. So it's not really a surprise that Saudi Arabia are quarterfinalists today. Right, well, we do have a featured matchup. Of course, you can watch all of the 4 quarterfinals over on FIFA.gg if you like, but we are focusing on this one. It is Indonesia, the reigning champions, taking on the Brazilian side, who were runners-up to that Indonesian side just 12 months ago. This is the story we maybe thought we'd see later in the tournament, but alas, we get it in the quarterfinal stages. It doesn't matter. These are 2 of the top teams.
And the reason that we get in the quarterfinal stages is, though, yes, okay, they are the top 2 teams, but inconsistencies in the group mean that they go through in positions they wouldn't have thought they would, and ultimately meeting each other in the quarterfinals. But it does set up our day very, very nicely, Rachel.
Before we continue setting it up here, our reporter CJ has been out and about around the floor, and he's going to give us an insight into our feature matchup.
I found myself back down on the floor taking a closer look at that featured matchup, Indonesia taking on Brazil. And while you pundits up top are looking at what they've done on the field, I'm looking for the insight off the field. How are they feeling? What's the physical signs of perhaps some stress, the nerves kicking in? And I've got the Indonesia behind me, the Binong boys, and also Elgar. And I'll tell you what, they're looking quite relaxed at the moment, which is what I like to see. It's making me pretty confident about what I see from Indonesia. But the beauty of this featured match is these 2 nations are sitting right alongside one another. We've also got Brazil, Henriquinho, and also Jay Victor. And they're looking focused. They've been practicing for the past hour getting locked in. So we've got 2 completely different sides. We've got the relaxed side, and we've also got the focus. Can't wait. I'm leaning to Brazil, though.
That's kind of like real football as well, isn't it? When the teams line up next to each other before they take to the pitch. It just builds that intensity, doesn't it, Alia?
Yeah, and I think it's also good to mention it's a cultural thing. I think Indonesia being the Asian country, we tend to be a lot more reserved. We don't really show our emotions. Whereas you have Brazil on the other hand, just 5 minutes ago, they were screaming together, amping each other up. So I just can't tell how this is going to go. I can't believe we're not seeing it later on in the knockouts.
Yeah, we're just looking at the faces now. We're just waiting. The clock is just ticking down, and this is where the nerves start to kick in, but it doesn't particularly look like it, Harry, when you look at the screen there.
Risky fighter. Wake up, come on, you've got a quarterfinal to play here soon. You can't be that relaxed. I know you're known as the Iceman, but you've got to be ready, got to put your game face on.
For a team like Indonesia and Brazil, though, is this kind of normal service, though? They've been here so many times before.
Absolutely. They're used to being in knockout stages and going on deep runs in tournaments, but we have to say goodbye to one of them here, and it's really, I mean, it's a crying shame, but ultimately it's due to, as Chris said, lackluster performances in the groups. The results, they tapered off towards the end and allowed some results to go by the wayside, and you cannot do that. You cannot let yourself succumb to a lack of concentration at any level, at any stage of this type of competition. Otherwise, you'll be handing yourself almost a poison chalice in the quarterfinals.
I mean, for both these two teams yesterday, combined 4 wins and 3 losses and 3 draws. That's not what you would kind of expect from our 2 finalists last year. You'd expect, okay, maybe you can lose games. There's some good competition here. You can draw games, but to go so inconsistently, it is quite a surprise. But yeah, I think for me, looking at how they're both setting up, how they are both feeling in the day, I think both of them will think to themselves, this game was going to happen at some stage. You would have had to beat each other at some stage if you wanted to be champion. Kind of just get that monkey off your back from last year. If you're Brazil or if you're Indonesia, try and get it done again. It was always going to happen at some stage.
Well, Italy have now taken their seats. You mentioned they had left the arena. They are now back, so we have a full house ready for the quarterfinals. So, guys, at home, I really hope you enjoy this knockout eFootball at its finest. It's quarterfinals time here in Riyadh at the FIFA E-World Cup Finals 2025. eFootball featuring console. Let's get to our casters for this featured matchup. Brazil taking on Indonesia. We've got Abdulaziz and Cole.
It is time for the eFootball console quarterfinals, and Abdulaziz, a huge rematch from last year.
Oh yes, we have Brazil against Indonesia, the best 2 teams in this tournament. This is actually like the final game for us, and for this year especially, because both of these teams played insanely well in the group stage. And here we are, only one of these 2 will go through.
Well, Indonesia won it last year. Thrilling performance from Binong Boys and Elga. But so far in the groups, they were massively ahead of their competition, but ended it with a draw and a loss and a loss. So coming into this one in poor form, whereas Brazil, a couple of disappointing draws. So neither of these guys are really stepping forward at the end of the groups.
Yes, you are completely right here. Indonesia started the tournament, especially in the first day, with absolutely no loss. In the second day, they played a little bit, let's say, comfortable. They were just losing game after another, and that's why they finished probably second in their group.
Well, they've forced some early pressure here against Brazil, and the first of this best of 2 is basically goal difference between a couple of games. So if you find yourself 2 goals down after game 1, you don't have to worry too much, because you can turn it right back around in the second, maybe pick a more attacking squad. And while they make some early changes... More question marks for them?
Oh yes, because that goal came absolutely from nowhere. Even though Indonesia were controlling the game, they were playing how they want to, but you need to create chances. It's not only about keeping the ball. Brazil would be happy to give you the ball, but if they have the ball, they will be more dangerous and they will probably score the second one.
And here is Elga on the left wing, waiting for this opportunity to pass, but Brazil continuing to defend well, covering all avenues for the Indonesian attack. João Victor tries to keep hold of it, shouldn't really be playing there too often.
Yeah.
You can see possession as well, it's all Indonesia, but not really doing too much with it.
Yeah, I mean, Brazil would be happy to give you the position, to give you the ball, but you cannot create something, let's say, very dangerous on their half. And that's exactly what happened. It has been like 45 minutes. The first half, Indonesia were keeping the ball, but they couldn't create much.
Brazil, who have the stingiest defence at the moment in eFootball console, have earned 6 clean sheets so far in this event. So Indonesia are not going to find it easy to get themselves a goal.
Oh.
Minutes has been indicated.
So we are almost at the half-time here. Indonesia played, let's say, safe and very safe football. But Brazil, on the other hand, they only needed one chance and they took full advantage of that. Yes, we have an update here. Mexico are leading against Italy and Poland 0-0 against Turkey. Japan and Saudi also 0-0.
God, what a result that could be. If Mexico could take the first game against Italy, I'd love to see Italy going all out attack against the Mexicans in the second. That would be intriguing.
Oh, yes.
This is that goal you were talking about, Abdelaziz. And again, this delay. When Brazil choose to keep hold of the ball, Indonesia are struggling to deal with it.
Exactly. That's what's happening here. And also, they are creating chances. They go to the box, whether they go from the wing or from the middle.
João Victor is offering Henriquinho a short corner, but it's not taken. Instead, goes very deep. Needs to get onto the head of the number 3 there. I think that one will go out for a throw-in. Brazil are happy enough with this.
Oh, yes, and honestly, I think now is the best time for Brazil to maybe score the second goal, because I feel Indonesia are not in the game yet. And yeah, and also they need to avoid conceding to another more goal.
Yeah, at the moment, Indonesia against the ropes on this losing streak, but they do play it out to the right. Brazil now need to do some defending. The second half has belonged to them. The possession has been theirs. The territory theirs too. But we know that Binong Boys and Elga, when they do get going, A team that plays together all the time. Indonesia, huge eFootball nation. They have infrastructure, they've got players ready to step in. They have to just not represent their country, but they have to keep their place. A real difference of Indonesian players.
Oh yes, and of course Indonesia, that's why they are world champion, because they have really good players and they have regular league and regular matches, so they are used to that. But on the other hand, Brazil, like, let's say they have the talent.
Oof.
Oh yeah, that was really risky.
Yeah, that was a scary turn there. Got away with it, but Brazil live and die by the sword. And as we mentioned, they have that stingy defence, and now options here in the centre. João Victor gets the ball onto the right wing, into the penalty box, fakes the shot. There's a pass to his right, but brilliantly defended until the clearance isn't ideal. And Brazil nick it here. It's in that far corner and eventually cleared by Indonesia.
Yeah, Brazil are relying a lot on the counter-attack, and they play it really very good. That's why I think Indonesia are struggling a lot at the moment.
They do have the ball out wide at the moment. It's well tackled there by Brazil. And Henriquinho comes away with the ball. His pass is wayward, though, so Indonesia will have control of things again. 22 minutes left. And would this be tactical, or is it just a chance for fresh legs?
I think they want...
Number 5, Pele.
In that game over there, and we're going to head back. The substitutions have been made. Yes. Pele, you're out of here.
Jan Koller is in.
So maybe Indonesia choosing to have a bit more pace, taking off Ronaldo there, rather than the option to put it up to his head. Maybe a few more sprints or a few more passes from Iniesta for Brazil. Cantona as well. Not bad substitutions to make. So huge changes, but Beto comes on as well for Brazil.
I think Brazil will be more than happy to end the game with 1-0, because they know how important to win the first leg.
Oh, there's a through ball there. Oh, no!
Yeah.
Binong Boys didn't see
That's
it.
what has been happening. Yeah, I mean, I think Indonesia are not playing positive, because this is the second time we see the player is a through, but they still do not go for that.
Meanwhile, Brazil don't make the same mistake. 2 passes they're through! Oh, shots wide! But that is how you make the decision quickly to put your teammate in.
Thank you. That's how it should be, because I feel they are not playing positive, Indonesia. They are just like to play safe, to go around, to go to the wing sometimes, while the middle is free, you know, just pass it up and then see where it goes.
And you don't expect to see this from Indonesia. Binong Boys, the player that could have taken that pass, didn't take it, but he does take it this time.
My God.
The early shots there. It's straight at the keeper.
That's a great goalkeeper movement. And that's why they have Jan Koller at the moment, because he can do this and create easy chances for the other strikers.
Elga for Indonesia has won the World Esports Championships in 2022, but that was 1v1. Now he has to turn to his teammate. When that chance came in, you could see there was movement there on the Indonesian bench, in real life that is. They really believe that was an opportunity. They're happy with what they've seen. The change are looking effective. Another flick on! And there it is! They'd been warning it, they kept their patience, and they flicked the positivity switch, and it pays off.
Oh, what a goal. I mean, that's what they need exactly. As we see here on the screen, Cole, your heartbeat is like 90.
I'm getting there, man. I'm just excited. How are you only at 68 Abdulaziz, man? He doesn't listen to music, he doesn't react, and yet he's the coolest guy in the room. I love him.
What a goal here. I mean, pass. You know, Indonesia, they know they don't need to create many chances, and all what they need is only one chance. Imagine for almost 80 minutes. they created 0 chances and they score almost from the corner kick.
So may I ask, these set-piece plays, you know, the near post flick on, that's not accidental. They have trained that. They knew what they were going to do.
Definitely, and that's really good question. Because if you see that the most dangerous attacks they created in this game came from set pieces.
Well, the game plan for Indonesia, suddenly you have to praise it. Now they have that goal, and now we question Brazil's mettle. They brought Neymar on earlier. Are they able to get him onto the ball? They have it in the centre at the moment with João Victor. There's the through ball to their teammate, and the there from Brazil! They do not fade, they do not sit back, and they do get back their lead!
What a goal, what a movement, what a pass. How did he see him over there? Oh, what a goal. That is typical Brazilian goal that we see throughout the tournament. Amazing comeback, amazing goal, and really nice finish.
It was Bebeto with the finish, I believe. And the pass, it didn't look easy. I didn't even think it was on, but he went
Not
for
at
it.
all.
He knew that the attacker had the strength to hold off the defender. Look how tight the lines are here that they break through. It looks like Indonesia have the banks of 4, and that is such an intelligent pass. And that's the only part of the goal that ball can go into.
Oh, exactly. I mean, honestly, that was really, really nice from Brazil. 2-1, they should keep the lead now. Oh, we see Poland, or Turkey, 1-0.
Holding out against Italy for now. That's a really interesting result over there. Yeah, Turkey getting that goal. A team who are known to improve in the knockout stages after getting through the groups. That's all they had to do, Turkey, and they're doing exactly that. But here in the feature game, it's Indonesia. Now we'll up the aggression against Brazil. Can Brazil counter? Both these teams have to remember, you can't throw it away in game 1.
Yes.
It does go into game 2.
Yes, but it's really important to finish the first game, let's say, in a good way. And here we have another chance. Oh, good defense.
I think from Indonesia though in the group stages, when they were feeling their most confident, we were seeing back heels in the box there. And there was another chance for Elga to just flick it into the path of Binong boys. It would have been risky, but you have to take those risks, and they're not. But we do have now the big man holding up the ball, but they're tackled once again.
Yes, I feel that Indonesia, they just want to go, let's say, through the wing and then cross it directly to Jan Koller, because they know Brazil are defending really well.
Oh, I think that's frustrating for Brazil there. I don't think they wanted that header to come in, but the game had other ideas.
Okay, let's see now. So, in the first goal, they played it in the first post, or the near post. Let's see now. Same thing, probably, no?
Well, Jan Koller is up there at the far post. He may well be the target man if they don't operate the same. They threaten it, certainly. And now they do get it to Koller.
Oh, my God!
Indonesia have been training these, and it pays off again.
Okay, so let's say they are the master at corner and set pieces. Because Brazil, they cannot do much about that. They know they can defend that. And that's why Indonesia are doing it over and over again.
Yeah,
they have Jan Koller,
They've played the game to perfection as well. The cross that originally came in, that won the corner, it was deep. I don't think Brazil wanted to head the ball. The Brazilian player had other ideas, a little bit of lack of communication between controller and on-field human. And Indonesia, devastating from their corner.
Yeah, you just mentioned that Jan Koller is in the far post. And yeah, they just found him. And yeah, he let's say, give it so easily to the other player.
If I'm Brazil, I'm getting Buffon on Jan Koller. Look for the bald head and put Buffon on him and just have him dancing in front of him, hands up. I think that seems to be the best tactic against Indonesia from these corners. But there are still a few more minutes of this game. Let's see if we can see Brazil do what they did last time, concede a goal, and then go back down the other end and cause even more drama. But it is intercepted in the centre. It's Binong boys. He has the whole of the pitch in front of him, tries to find, I think it's Gakpo. Isn't quite able to do so, and now it's Brazil maybe with one last chance. Lovely skill move there from João Victor, keeps hold of the ball, puts it again into a defended player's feet, but the passing is good enough. That's a good one. It goes to Henriquinho. He turns, he waits. Is the shot on? It's instead towards João Victor. The shot's there, but it's blocked.
Yes, they have an update. Saudi are winning against Japan 2-0.
2-0?
Yes.
2 goals in quick succession for Japan. That was the second one we just saw flying in. And our one word of warning, Abdulaziz, we said if you go behind in game one, don't panic and throw it away.
Yes.
What a his tests, but he's tackled. Great defending Saudi Arabia. And you're enjoying what you're seeing.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. 2-0 against Japan in the first leg. I am so happy I'm flying at the moment.
Saudi Arabia, who were one win away from making out the groups last year. This year, they've already done better, and they're trying to go even further. Semi-finals for KSA. How big a result would that be for these two?
Oh, yes. I mean, it's really important because they are like one more step away from the semifinals, and that's where they want to be. Japan, still, they are a really good team. They can come back, I mean, anytime, any moment. But yeah, let's see, let's wait and see.
They've kept faith in Goat Iniesta and Figo together as the duo of Saudi Arabia. And so far, it is paying dividends. That experience is telling. But for Brazil, who have made a change, you brought in Henriquinho. The vibes were good, and I can't believe they've lost that game.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
Oh, sorry, not won that game, drawn that game.
Yeah, but I mean, for them, I mean, Brazil, I think they deserve to win that game. But still, you know, that's why Indonesia are so good, because they know how to score goals. Whether through a corner kick, whether through a set piece, or even from an open play.
Yeah, plenty of opportunities. I mean, Indonesia, we have to critique them, because there were times that if I'm screaming there's a pass on, I'm sure they'll be aware they should have made the pass, and I'm sure you know these games far better than I do. You were seeing it too. Was it a bravery thing why they weren't making those incisive passes to each other from Indonesia?
Yes, I think so. And also the changing moment for Indonesia is that when they started, when they used Jan Koller, because this player changed the game completely for them. Because they knew before Jan Koller came in, they could not create enough chances. Brazil were defending so deep, they were using almost everyone in the back, and that made it really hard for them to create any chance. So they relied on set pieces and corners, and it worked out for them.
Do they start with him next game, or is it good to have him on as a sub?
Oh, that's a really good question. Oh, it's a little bit tricky, you know. But would you do that?
I think what I would say is that it's a cliche, but it is a factor that when he came on, it was against a defense that weren't 100%, and he was able to punish them. I'd probably stick, because I know, and they will know, that they can do more in open play from the beginning of the game. They were on gear 3, maybe? Not even gear 4?
I completely agree with you. Yes, I think they still can do that. And if things didn't go that way, or the way they want, they can definitely use Jan Koller again.
Plus, let's say game 2, let's say it's, 0-0 after 50 minutes. They bring him on, and Brazil go, we've seen this happen before. Suddenly, Brazil are freaked out.
Oh, yes. So we have now the match highlights for Italy and against Mexico. So here is the beautiful goal from Mexico where they took the lead. And now we see the first goal of Indonesia against Brazil. Poland against Turkey also, which ended 1-0, I believe, for Poland.
Yes.
This is really nice goal from, let's say, the brothers. Here is the beautiful goal where only Brazilian players can score.
Yeah, lovely highlights package that we're seeing here.
Oh,
Can't
wow.
believe that. That is such a lovely goal against Japan.
Oh, wow. No, so they're playing really well.
Yes.
That goal, yeah.
Well, it's been a thrilling round of games earlier on in the quarterfinals. I think Mexico beating Italy, that's huge. I don't think anybody expected that. We'd sort of written that one off for Mexico.
Oh, yes. I mean, Mexico. yes, they didn't play so well in the group stage, but in the knockout, it's completely different story. Now they are winning against Italy, who were probably, I mean, the best team in the group stage, and they played so well.
Well, we've heard from the Arsenal star before. He had an interview with CJ. Seems an extremely likable character, showing us that tattoo that he has of his dog. And currently, they are living up to that spirit against Italy, who need to remind themselves there's still a long way to go. And it's basically 1-0 down at half-time.
Yeah, that's nothing. You still have a lot of time to come back and maybe to win the game. But Mexico, on the other hand, you know, I think they should never change anything with their tactics. I know if you are winning 1-0, you would say that I want to defend to keep the lead. I think it's better just to stick the way you want to play.
Well, we can actually listen in to Brazil, some frustrating moments and some beautiful ones from them. Well, that was the beautiful moment. I think that was that second goal, the one that we love so much. I don't think we can share what they were saying after that second corner went in from Indonesia.
Oh yes, that's the one. But honestly, the chemistry between these two players, you know, is so good, and I feel it's much better than last year. Even though Indonesia looking so strong, and I believe they will do something for the next for the second game, and yeah, I'm looking forward to see what will happen.
Yeah, I mean, Indonesia proving dogged, and I think that was important for them. You know, when you're Indonesia and you're so far ahead, and you come into this one off the group stages, you were winning it by a mile, and then there was a draw, and then 2 losses, including to Poland, in order to finish second in this group, and that was essentially the game to avoid Brazil. They've already lost that. And it's clear that there is doubt that has crept into this Indonesian roster.
Yeah, it's all about the last 2 or 3 matches yesterday.
Yep.
Because honestly, that was really shocking from Indonesia. Even though I was talking to Alia last night, and I was confused that they actually lost 2 games in a row.
It's surprising, especially in the group stages where they were so dominant before. But they've fought back in that first game. They've actually done very well to make it 2-2.
But you know, knockout stage is always different. It has always been different than the group stage. So no matter how good you are in the group stage, when it comes to knockout stage, it's totally different.
Yeah, I always feel that in this and other esports and competition in general, you can take the form from one knockout to the next, so the quarters to the semis to the finals, but the group stage into the quarters is a hard reset. You know, that's one where you can't really say, oh, they were playing really badly in the group stages, they'll be bad in the quarterfinals.
No.
You know? If they're bad in the quarterfinals, they tend to struggle all the way up until the finals.
Yeah.
I find. Because their communication was ever so slightly slow in that first game, but they've got away with it.
Oh yes, you know, the communication is really important, and at this stage, at this moment, they do not need to change so many things regarding tactics, but they need to be mentally more than ready, because as you just mentioned earlier, that mental side is really important.
Well, that beautiful trophy that we just saw is what all these players are competing for. Indonesia currently hold that grand prize, and they will not wish to relinquish it.
Oh, not at all.
They are going to have to go into the second game equal against Brazil. As a reminder, if it does finish equal, and all these games are pretty tight, even Saudi Arabia and Japan, a 2-goal difference, but if any team against any other team is going to make a comeback, I'd say that Japan... Now it is down to the 11 versus 11 on the pitch to represent their nations. The drafts have already been made. The second round of the quarterfinals is upon us. That countdown there, the players can see it. We can see it too. It's kickoff number 2 in Brazil versus Indonesia.
Come on, let's have fun. Now all or nothing. This is the last game. This is the decider.
No mistakes left. As straight away we see Brazil connecting with each other into the Indonesian penalty box. Eventually they lose the ball, but that's an early warning sign to me from Brazil against Indonesia.
Yes, I think Brazil they are like, let's say they want to go for that goal because they know how important it is.
It does seem that Brazil are going to start this one on the attacking foot, but Indonesia, we know they love to counter. It's currently Binong Boys that has the ball in the centre, fakes out past one and then finds Elga. Lovely interplay between those two. 1-2s all the way down the pitch.
That's really
a braver pass. Then
nice.
his first time. Can he turn? Nearly, but a sign from Indonesia.
Oh yes, now they are playing well. Actually, they follow what you just mentioned earlier, where they stick with the same tactics, with the same players.
Yeah, we'll know that we've got Jan Koller to bring on later as a huge tackle comes in against Ruud Gullit. Indonesia have the ball in the centre. Again, slowing it down, not afraid to turn around, but it can backfire if you linger. Now Ronaldinho has the ball. Past the one, he has the ball. So does he go for the shot? He fakes one out. I remember a particularly famous Ronaldinho goal against, I think it was Chelsea, on the edge of the box. Lots of fakes, and then toe punting it in.
That's so beautiful.
Reminiscent of that.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, we have an update here. Turkey are leading 1-0 against Poland.
Wow, okay, so that one, Turkey continuing to push forwards against the two young brothers. Indonesia have the ball, starting to dance with it now. They have it on the right wing. Does he go for the early cross, Elga? Thinks about it, holds onto the ball eventually, finds Binong Boys. 1-2 play, there's the shot!
What a goal!
Indonesia are back, baby!
What a goal, what a movement, what a way to finish that. Really nice. I think Indonesia are playing the way they want.
Yes, the shackles seem to have come off Indonesia.
From an open play, you know, 1, 2, 3 passes, and then turn and then shoot to the far post.
It's amazing what a fresh game, 0-0 in the corner, even though the scores carry over, can do to players' confidence. Look at that, lovely pass.
That's really nice. Yeah, that's the positive play that they needed to do from the very first game. But yes, to come late better than to never come,
For a team that dropped to second place, that's the first real sign we have seen that they are reigning champions here, this pairing. Now we have Turkey, the team.
Wow, the skill move at the edge of the box and then the finish. Oh, only Johan Cruyff can do that.
Always lovely to see these classic players back in their prime on the pitch. And Indonesia fancy a little bit more as well. Binong Boys has it. Elga makes a run ahead of him. Binong Boys holds on to it.
So who's the best ever for you?
The best ever player for me, I'm going to have to go with Messi. Maybe it's recency bias, but I think Lionel is something a little bit special.
We have Messi fan here then.
We definitely do, yeah. Sorry to any Ronaldo fans. I'll go with the Argentinian. He's not used as much in this game. It's more Ronaldo.
Not really, yes. Yes, you are completely right. Players rely on, let's say, body maybe, physicality a little bit.
Ronaldo certainly has that. Still playing, of course, in the Saudi leagues for Al Nassr is Cristiano Ronaldo. We saw him the first time he came to Saudi Arabia. That was quite impressive. It was 4-2 Al Nassr. It was a brilliant match.
Oh, that's good. You enjoyed that.
Absolutely. Yes, we did. Well, Ronaldo, if he's on this pitch between these two teams, will be hoping that he can get on the score sheet, of course, as Brazil that ball out to the left back. Ronaldinho wanting the ball, but not getting it. It's forward to Gullit. And now Henriquinho to find a pass down the centre. And I think what I'm seeing as well is that Indonesia, they're covering those central passes much better this game.
That's really smart from you, yes. That's why they are playing really well now, because they have the tools to pass, to play, and to have more players in the mid. Now they are controlling the game and actually giving absolutely no space to Brazil. I have an update. Japan are leading 1-0 against Saudi.
Okay, so that makes it shaky for Saudi there. They won 2-0 in the first game, don't forget, so that goal difference is cut in half early as well against Japan, and this was...
minutos do primeiro tempo pelo jogador, camisa 23.
Boys in this second game.
Oh, wow. By the way, Italy are leading against Mexico. Oh, this is really nice. Oh!
Good
Joga
save.
bonito.
Yeah, lovely setup, but good save there from Binong boys. Is it a corner in the end, or is that a goal kick? The way that...
I think it will be a goal kick, no?
I think the way Henriquinho is reacting in the bottom left, it looked like a chance had gone begging, and it is even more frustration for Brazil.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that was really nice individual work, but the goalkeeper of Indonesia has something to say.
Yes, for sure. Not just getting onto the ball, but palming it away as well, getting enough distance on it that it didn't just fall to a Brazilian player's feet. They do win it from the goal kick, and they have it on this left wing as well. A lot of their players coming from the left. Goes into the centre. Gullit has the ball, Ronaldinho making the run, finds it, but couldn't quite get the next pass into the middle. And Indonesia, this is looking more like their first half from the first match, where they're looking to counter, letting Brazil in. Brazil punished them last time, another flick comes out from him. Gullit has the ball, into the middle, turns, the shot's on, is that a penalty?
What?
Ref?
How come?
I swear he sived him.
Oh my God. We need to see that in VAR.
We do.
We need.
Abdelaziz made the hand movements as well.
I want VAR.
I'm trying to look around, seeing if we can see how the Brazilians reacted to that one, and they're looking pretty stoic still, not looking too bothered, but I think they would have expected that one
Oh, wow.
could have been a penalty.
Yeah, but I think we will see now more of Brazil. They will try to create more chances. They will try to have more players in the half of Indonesia. Oh, wow.
I've just seen it. Still so much scope to win the game of chess before they win the game on the pitch. Brazil are going to be dangerous as well, and just like that, those doubts will come back to Indonesia. The reminder, they won't have it all their own way as Gullit makes a huge block. He goes out for an Indonesia throw-in, but that's the sort of block that gets the crowd cheering.
Of course, because it shows that passion, it shows that you are not going to get through with that, you know? So there are so many signs that this player wants to send.
Well, that's gone absolutely nowhere from Indonesia. And Buffon can pick his spot. It's going to be João Victor taking this goal kick.
Yeah, he will take his time. He will take his time.
It's only 2 shots on target each as well, so Brazil will be thinking. Indonesia have scored both of those, but they haven't been dominating despite having that 2-0 half-time lead.
Yeah, but I see that now Brazil is trying to push up a little bit, and they want to keep the ball a little longer in the opponent's half, which is Indonesia's half.
Indonesia go long. This is their bread and butter. The touchdown doesn't quite go to the striker. It might this time. The flick on is there, but that was well read by Ronaldinho, who can go forward. Henriquinho has the ball in the centre. João Victor almost loses it out, but Henriquinho still has it. Finds his teammate. There's space on the right wing if they can find it. There's a big run coming on. The player's desperate for the ball, but Ronaldinho tries to let it go through his legs and almost gets the tackle in the Indonesian box. Right now, Brazil on top.
Yes, so far, yes, Brazil are playing really well. They have more players in the opponent's half, and it could be. Oh, that's really nice. That's really nice.
It's nice, but I'm not sure the headed shot was the right. Lovely finish there from Poland to put themselves back into contention. 2-0 down across the two games in that one they were. That makes it 2-1, so they still need one more goal. And the two brothers will be doing their best to make it, looking pretty dangerous as well. They won their group in the end, of course, don't forget, against Indonesia, beating Indonesia in the final game.
Oh.
To steal that first spot.
Is that going to happen again?
It may well. I mean, we know that Poland can come back, and we know that they can hold their nerve in the pressure situations. Brazil trying their own comeback, not quite on the same wavelength that time.
Yeah, very ambitious from that angle, to be honest. Anyway, only, let's say, 20 in-game or 25 in-game minutes left. Brazil need to change something now. Probably they need fresh legs. They need to change a little bit of tactics.
So don't be too surprised to see substitutions coming in very soon. But Hullet has the ball at the moment. He dances past one tackle, keeps hold of it. There's the pass towards João Victor. Henriquinho as well. Oh, he's gone for one of those, another risky passes where there's a defender nearby, and it almost wriggled its way through.
I think Brazil need to change something now. Or maybe after this one.
Yeah, they're certainly looking like they're able to get the ball in the Indonesian penalty box, but João Victor didn't get rid of it. Indonesia happy to go long. It seems that Indonesia want to take this one 2-1. There's still 18 minutes left. Maybe you want to see a bit more from Indonesia going forwards, because they're going to regret it if Brazil score.
Exactly. And that's why they are like defending with almost everyone and trying to seal the deal, I would say here.
Whoa, not much composure there from Elga. Booms it.
This is really
up onto the pitch, and this can be dangerous as well. We've seen some fantastic Indonesian set pieces. Does Brazil have anything from
Substituição no time do Brasil. Camisa 20.
From the goalkeeper over there. So yes, we are back here again to Indonesia against Brazil with only 15 minutes in game time left.
Brazil need to get hold of this ball. Indonesia desperate for this one to finish 2-1. And they do have the big man back on the pitch.
If you can see now, yeah, the whole team of Indonesia are in their half. They are defending with almost everyone.
Brazil have the ball on the right wing. It's João Victor, tries to get it into Henriquinho. Maybe it's not quite time for those risky passes. Indonesia reading them very well. And this time Elga keeps hold of the ball, does try and find a pass forwards, but it's not quite met. It's a failed pass. Brazil have it again. Tippy-tappy football, lovely fake into the centre. Is there a pass on? So close, stabbed away by Indonesia.
Oh, that was really close. They need to create another one. They need to go to the wing a little bit also. You need to go to the wing, because in the middle it's almost impossible to break that.
A few more chances maybe for Brazil. They have to get this ball out wide. It is all very central, as you say, Abdulaziz. Indonesia, they're so much taller than Brazil. That one almost flicks onto an Indonesian hand, but again, they can get the ball away to halfway. It's one more effort, Brazil. These tackles, they take away minutes. Indonesia playing the plan to perfection.
Exactly. And that's why they are defending with almost everyone. They leaving absolutely no space for Brazil. But now we will see.
Teremos uma substituição.
A 2-0 win in game one, and now 2-1 down in game. Indonesia, Brazil, equally so. 4 goals in this one, 4 goals in the first. And they've all been shared. Will we see last-second drama? Indonesia, we're trying to hold on to a 2-1 win. It has backfired. Brazil did eventually make their way through. Binong Boys and Elga have the ability to win this one in regulation time. A couple of minutes left in the game. They have the ball now. It's Elga. Almost gets past Brazil. Isn't able to do so. Brazil now looking like they're going to take that golden goal. Take the coin flip. I think even if they don't want to, surely the referee calls this one here.
Do we have one more chance?
Brazilian chance. The through ball is on. Almost past one. Indonesia should clear. Do clear. I'm exhausted, but the players are going to... And while we watch players celebrating, Abdulaziz, do you want to tell us about the other result that we've got?
Yes, Italy are winning, I believe, against Mexico. Saudi Arabia officially through to the semifinals. Let's go!
Yeah, of course we're neutral here on eFootball, but it's natural to root for your nation. And well done, Saudi Arabia, into the semis against, I mean, it was looking like Turkey, but who knows now? Poland versus Turkey are
Yes, and
the
also we
situation after
have
that goal.
And we have Indonesia against Brazil that will go to a third match where will be decided by, let's say, one goal, which is the golden goal.
So at the moment, just to run through everything, Italy versus Mexico will be going into golden goal. Indonesia versus Brazil will be going into golden goal. Poland versus Turkey will be going into golden goal. And Saudi Arabia versus Japan.
Wow.
They're the only winners so far. Blow the whistle on the tournament. KSA win it then. Oh, Poland game, sorry, apologies. Poland versus Turkey, they're making substitutions, but it's, as it stands, it would be a golden goal, but there's still a few minutes left of match 2. 9 minutes left in Turkey versus Poland. So let's hop over there and see if we can find a winner. Poland, who won their group against all odds when it seemed like it belonged to Indonesia. And now, again, against all odds, they needed 2 goals against Turkey, and they've got them.
Yes.
We have Turkey with a little bit of possession and territory at the end, but it's defended well enough by Poland.
Yeah, I feel this game is like very close game, you know. It will only decided by, let's say, one chance, one set piece, one corner, and then it will be over.
Yeah, I think so as well. It gives me that vibe of seeing a last-minute winner.
If that happens.
And this is, of course, to face Saudi Arabia in the semi-finals. So we're casting half an eye on this. All the other players set up in for golden goal games. Poland send it long. The flick on is there. They're almost through, nearly on the second chunk of the ball as well.
Yeah, that was really good defense.
Going to see Turkey maybe launch a counter-attack there. Going to get that ball forwards. Do you think these players are happy to play it out for golden goal at this point?
It's really tricky, but I think Poland want to finish the game now. Maybe Turkey want to go to golden goal, I think. Maybe.
Well, that pass back from Poland suggests that they're at least happy to stay patient, but they have lost control of the ball. Possession so important in eFootball. The ball over the top is met by a big old Polish head. He's got passes out wide. Yeah, I think Poland themselves now, going back to the goalkeeper, they're saying, okay, let's take a break, let's take a second, because the nerves are frayed.
Yeah,
heart rates are at the high. We're looking in the 150s.
Oh, that's a little bit high.
Yeah, I think the referee is gonna.
We have one more chance. No, we don't.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so
what
golden goal everywhere.
What a round! I mean, the whole teams are playing insanely well in this stage. Even Japan, who were just knocked out, they came back from 2-0 defeat, and they were very close to win that game.
Yeah, they did. Credit to the Japanese players. They certainly made more of a statement for themselves than they did last year, where last year they were severely disappointing, not making it out the groups. This time they are able to do so. Axe and Tess new in Japan for this year. He'd have gained a lot from the experiences here at eFootball. Of course, he knows his eFootball. He's the eFootball Championship 2025 winner for FC Barcelona in solos. But it's always so much different when you're playing with a teammate.
Of course, it's not easy at all, because they know everything about you, you know, and which is why it will be a little bit complicated. But yeah, Poland against Turkey, it is a draw. They will go to the third round. Indonesia against Brazil, we will see them now. The decider, I would say. And Italy against Mexico also. So the only team that went through to the knockout, to the semifinals, Saudi Arabia. And sadly, we say goodbye to Japan, who played insanely well throughout the tournament.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to see the best of Japan. You know, such a brilliant duo. They play together all the time. Regular 2v2 duo. I mean, these guys have been playing together their entire life. The Polish players, Ostrobuk and Zilo. Zilo just
Do you think
19.
the chemistry between the brothers helped them to reach this stage?
Yeah, I think so, especially. I mean, they know how they get on. They know how they agree about things. They've also learned over the years how to disagree about things well. And that's an important
that's really good point.
aspect as well. You know, you're not always going to have the same opinion on whether to bring in this player or bring in that player or who's playing well or badly. But, you know, they've been through the bickering stage of their career when they were, I don't know, 10. And now they're mature adults.
Wow,
Can deal with
that's
these problems
really
on the
good
pitch.
point, yes.
Well, we only have one team currently through, and speaking to them is Milos of Saudi Arabia.
Yes, I am, friends. I'm here surrounded by two legends of the scene in the region, Goat Iniesta and Figo. Now, you had a very, very close matchup. You're able to bring it back against Japan. How was that game like? أكيد كان عندكم ماتش كتير كتير قوي ضد اليابان. كيف قدرتوا ترجعوا بالجيم وتفوزوا فيها؟
كانت مباراة صعبة، بالذات أن أول مباراة قدمنا 2-0، بعدين المباراة الثانية هم سجل علينا هدفين. صراحة انحطينا تحت ضغط، بس الحمد لله قدرنا نسجل على الدقائق الأخيرة وحافظنا على الهدف والحمد لله.
Well, in the first game, of course, we were down to, well, we won 2-0. Then we went into game 2, and Japan really caught up to us. And then we were able to score at the last second and really get the one goal that we needed. We celebrated through it, and we got across the line. طيب, هلا سؤالي, like my question to you in this case, Figo, is you get to play either Poland or their opponents waiting on the other side is Turkey. Who do you think you're going to play against? أكيد هتلعبوا ضد بولندا أو تركيا. مين بتفضلوا تلعبوا ضد أو مين أنت بتتوقع تلعبوا ضد؟
بالنسبة لنا أتوقع يعني أي خصم بنواجهه احنا ما راح نخاف منه. طبعا تركيا أو بولندا احنا إن شاء الله جاهزين وحاضرين وإن شاء الله للنهائي بإذن الله.
To be honest, it doesn't matter who we go up against, be it Poland or Turkey. Both are good teams, but we're here to win. We want to get into that final and take it home, so it doesn't matter who we go up against in the semis. Though, thank you very much. Shukran jazilan ilkum. I'm going to let you go. Relax, watch the rest of the match because there's a lot of golden goals that are coming up, and I cannot wait for it. Back to our commentators.
I'm glad that we had that little break because I think we were desperately in need of that one. So thank you, Milos. You've taken the stress off us for a little while.
But
so much to keep up with.
Yeah.
What matches have had so far?
Oh yes, I like the confidence that these players have. They just say we don't care who we'll play against because we are more than ready to play against anyone, and that's really good. As we see here on the screen, the highlights, and this is the beautiful free kick that Indonesia scored. The second goal from Japan. Lost against Saudi in this beautiful goal. Brazil, this is the goal where it shows the quality, the skills, the composure.
89th minute as well. To make that pass, that is not a safe pass. I remember even questioning, should they maybe play a bit more safe with a couple of minutes left? You don't want to lose that ball.
Yes,
I was wrong. I was very wrong, and they were right. They have one way to play Brazil, and that's why we love what these players are offering us. João and Henriquinho, Flair, and what a comeback.
You have got to be brave, and that's exactly what they had to do. In that moment, it shows the quality between normal player and professional player, and that's exactly what they did. They scored in the 89th minute against tough opponent like Indonesia, and now they are only probably, let's say, it's not one game, it's only one goal. Where to shoot at, and maybe if you are lucky, it's in. If not, it will be saved.
Do you switch up your game style at all going into something where the pressure of conceding one and you're out? Because also if you score one and you're through, do you know what I mean? So there is the calling to be as positive as possible.
It's not easy. That's why for us to go to the PKs, it will be so much fun. We will love that. But for the players, I'm not sure.
Well, we've got 3 chances to reach a penalty shootout. The only way, remember, we are going to have a penalty shootout is if it's 0-0 in regulation time and 0-0 in extra time as well. 90 minutes plus 30 minutes. 1 goal is going to take it. 3 more matches remain in this semi-finals. We are heading there And I'll tell you what as well, we're going to jump between the games, Abdulaziz.
Let the show begin. Come on, we have the final game. Only one goal will decide who will go through and who will leave us.
We're starting with Indonesia versus Brazil, who've already given us so much entertainment. But keep a close eye on it, because this one could end any second. Brazil have a risky challenge in their own penalty box. Ronaldinho keeps it in that far corner, and already you're thinking it could be over in 3 minutes.
Oh, it could be. And we see here that Indonesia are using young Kuller from the very beginning.
That's a great point. So they're thinking if they can get one set piece, they can win this right here, right now. As Brazil try to bullet it through to their strikers. Jan Koller gets his big old head on that one. Brazil can come away. Brazil keeping their play style. I love that about them.
Yeah. Yes. Maybe you do not need to change a lot, because it's just a matter of only one goal.
Binong Boys has the ball now on the right side of the pitch, but it falls to Brazil. They want to keep hold of this ball. Remember, had the most clean sheets so far in this tournament.
That's really good point.
2 goals in both games against Indonesia.
That's really good point.
Brazil, I think they're going to lose control of that one, so Indonesia can take a deep breath out.
Yes.
Carry on playing their game. I did just see that Mexico had a huge chance against Italy. Couldn't quite take it. But Italy on the ropes as well. They're not going to find this easy against the Mexicans.
No, not at all. Not at all. Mexico are playing really well defensively and also in creating chances.
Enriquinho gets the ball into the centre for João Victor. This is what's been so effective so far for Brazil. But Indonesia are able to get their foot on the ball. Not rushing anything. The Indonesians, they've lost it there. This could be the first real chance. Maybe this is the moment Brazil make it through. It's Jan Koller. He gets it into the centre for Ronaldinho. Shoots, but it's blocked. And Indonesia, you cannot lose the ball there. They're laughing about it.
No, you can't.
You can't let that happen.
You know what that reminds me of?
Go on.
Gerard slip.
Oh, no. Any Liverpool fans listening to this, I'm like, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Brazil have it. Hopefully no more slips. That one's almost slipped through.
Yeah, you can't make mistakes here, especially at this game.
Incredibly cutthroat.
He's through.
This is it, Binong Boys. Oh, that is cynical. It may well be. They'll say there was a man
he was
covering.
lucky that is not a red card.
It definitely could have been.
Oh, yeah.
To join Saudi Arabia, and they will face Saudi Arabia as well in the semi-finals.
Yes. Oh, how unlucky for Turkey. They leave us like that, but they did really well. They played so well throughout the tournament. They should be really proud about the way they played in this tournament.
That one cleared at the near post there by Brazil, and they have a chance to counter. 2 men steaming forward. This could be 2 against 1 if the pass is right from João Victor. He waits, and then
he's
he gets
through.
Ronaldinho. Hullet is in the middle.
Yes.
Tries to cut it around 2 of it's just in front. And Indonesia, they get away with it, but the counter almost devastating from Brazil.
Oh, look, 23 in-game minutes. And all it's about Brazil here.
Here it is. Brazil have been by far the better team, carving all the opportunities, making every second count at the moment, and every time they come forwards, you really fear for Indonesia. Binong Boys and Elga completely on the ropes, living incredibly dangerously, and again, they can't get hold of this ball.
Look to the heartbeat. It is 100 and almost 80. That's crazy.
That might be the peak we've seen from Henriquinho, but now it's him who has the shooting chance. He almost gets it through, and João Victor's there with Ruud Hullet. Again, hacked away by Indonesia. They can't survive like this.
Oh, no, not at all. And honestly, Brazil are playing so good at the moment. If they didn't score now, I think it will be harder for them later.
That's a good point. If this wave of pressure disappears, and Indonesia will really get a foothold in the game. At the moment, it is all the team in yellow. The Brazilian beats blaring out as they potentially knock Indonesia out. Last year's grand finalists up against each other again, remember, in the quarterfinals. And it's the losers from last year that are looking all the more dangerous. This one almost falls to João Victor, cleared away again by Indonesia. Do they need a change of tactics? Brazil everything.
I think the experience helped Italy a lot in this game, even though Mexico played so well.
Yeah, for sure, the Italian players saying that if they can win this one, that completes the game for them, basically, because they've achieved so much.
Indeed.
Indonesia have it again. It seems like our feature game is the one that is going to be the nerviest. Just a couple of games remaining at the moment. Oh no, this is the last one, sorry. This is the final one, so all eyes on this game.
Yes. This is the last game that we have for the quarterfinals. Only one goal separates these two teams from going to the semis.
Ronaldinho has the ball, he fakes back. Hullet is making the run. Does he try and find him? Yes, he does. Not quite on his head that time. Ronaldinho wins a second. Hullet into the penalty box. The shot's there. It's João Victor! Saved and caught at the end of the first half.
Oh, wow.
And now Indonesia, they have the ball on the left side. One turn can kill Brazil here, almost past the defender. And that is a brilliant tackle.
Oh, what a game.
Brazil.
Yes.
Statistically, everything belonged to them.
Yes, in the first half, Brazil played insanely well. They were creating another chance after another. And they were so close to break the defense down. So unlucky that they didn't score, honestly. But Indonesia probably is the only team in the tournament that they do not need to create many chances because they can score from everywhere.
We just saw there, Juninho, who I mentioned earlier, is watching this one, rooting for his compatriots, hoping for now they can make the semis, and then he'll be looking to do the same later on. Indonesia make another tackle. Brazil had a quarter of a chance there from the kickoff, but weren't able to do anything with it, and Indonesia looking completely blunted. This is their late group stage selves. They've barely got a pass together in this game so far.
Yeah.
It would be cruel, you would say, if Indonesia are to take this game based on how Brazil have played, but that is the format we are playing. If you don't take your chances, then you are going to be punished. And Indonesia, just in the last 5 minutes or so, have started to get hold of the ball, waiting for this pass now from Binong Boys. Nobody can take the ball off him when he has it. He does in the end get it toward Elga. There's the 1-2. That changes the pace. The pass over the top is well defended by Brazil.
Okay, now we talk.
It's a corner. I'm scared, Abdulaziz.
Oh, me too, to be honest. Okay, so the last time they played in the first hour, the far post. Let's see this time. Okay, they moved the keeper. Fine.
Keeper out. That's what we asked for. That's what you have to do. But the keeper now might be unsighted as a pass comes in from Indonesia. They lose it. And now it's Brazil that are clearing the ball long. Indonesia come forward again. Binong Boys, as long as he can. It's their player's head. It bounces into the box. This is so dangerous. Another corner, and Buffon, you're up, mate.
That was really tricky, you know. It is not easy to defend that.
So tense. Just one goal will break the hearts of two of the players that we're currently seeing on our screens. You can see there Brazil trying to stop the short corner. Indonesia have changed their tactics, going for the outswinger instead, making it more difficult for Buffon to get his hands on it. He does go for it. He doesn't get it, though!
Oh, my God.
And thankfully for Brazil, it falls to a yellow shirt.
Yes. They move the goalkeeper because they know that is the only way to defend that corner.
Indonesia's plan A is starting to pay dividends, but Brazil now have the ball. Can't quite keep hold of it, though, with Ruud Gullit.
Okay, I feel the momentum shifted right now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Binong Boys has the ball, goes over the top. It's blocked at source there by Brazil. They're definitely aware and wary of these balls that go into the air. Binong Boys again has players in front of him, 3 players in front of him, finds one of them who gets the fake shot, has some space now in the Brazilian box, wants to get the pass through, he has, there's the shot! Oh man, what positioning by Brazil for the defence!
Wow, I mean, defending that way and getting the ball out, but here's the counter-attack. Brazil, he will go. Nice defending by Roberto Carlos.
Indonesia!
That was so close, that was so close.
Far be it from me to tell you how to play your game, but when there's a big striker attacking you, stop trying to clear it.
Exactly.
They're going to get the block in. Be a bit braver, pass to the goalkeeper, clear it out for a throw-in, because they've tried that launch down the middle a few times. It's almost put them in trouble again, and now Ruud Gullit has the ball, goes for a through ball to Ronaldinho, it's cut out. Indonesia, of course, go long. Binong Boys had Elga next to him, looking for the run off that pass. Gullit wins this header, but it doesn't go anywhere. End-to-end at the moment. Both teams playing a little bit safe.
Yeah, I think both of the teams right now, it's like 50-50 game. unlike the first half where we only see Brazil dominating the half. But now, honestly, I feel that Indonesia are more dangerous.
Yeah, for sure. It's less beautiful, but more danger. But that's a big ball over the top, not met by anyone from Brazil. Indonesia can get a touch for now. It goes to the Brazilian defence, and they play it out to the left back. There's a pass in front of him. It's Ronaldinho. Wants to turn past his man, but that's well defended. Indonesia keep launching it forwards, but this is more the pattern of the first half, where Brazil are defending that well, but that one's better. It does reach a man in red. He has the ball at his feet, does Binong Boys. Elga is brought into the game, and lovely 1-2 between them. Indonesia starting to play, Abdulaziz.
Yeah, I feel Indonesia are playing a little bit better right now. They are controlling the game, going to the wings, and also sometimes creating chances from the middle. But Brazil, yeah, I think this is not their half. But fair enough, Brazil had the first half. Indonesia probably will have the second half. But who's going to break down?
Well, let's see. At the moment, there's a lot of balls over the top for Ronaldinho on the left wing, and that's not what he wants. He wants it into his feet to dance past defenders. There's the big ball. That's what Holly wants. The defender didn't get the touch, but nor did the striker.
Oh, Gullit was the only one who can take that ball.
Yeah, he's the man you want in those situations. Yes. But the jump wasn't quite well timed enough.
Okay, I think we will see some fresh legs right now from both teams.
Yeah, I don't think Brazil will be too happy with the second half.
Not at all. No, they didn't play well, and they know that. To be honest, I think in the second half, Indonesia were even closer and more closer than Brazil to score that goal.
Yeah, there was one where the goalkeeper didn't get the ball from the corner. That was dangerous. There was another where the knockdown went to a Brazilian defender. Incredibly dangerous as well.
Do you think we will go to PKs?
Surely not. Surely not. I was speaking to Wes before this one started, and he was saying that the chance of penalty kicks, 0-0 across 90 and then the extra 30.
Yeah.
Astronomically low.
Wow.
But it's tense. It's really tense. And it seems to be Indonesia that are dealing with the pressure better. They're playing with a smile still. Brazil look nervous.
I think so. Maybe they're because they know that they can score only one goal, whether from a corner, set piece, or even an open play.
Remember, everybody, next goal wins this one. There are no second chances. Gakpo's through, but the keeper comes out to block him. Indonesia have taken off Jan Collas, so a big target man, who they played from the start, unlike the first match. Wasn't quite able to make the most of being on here. Brazil bring on Bebeto and a few others as well. Ronaldinho is off, so maybe a change in approach. Neymar replaces him. This one played out to the right. Brazil may be focusing more on the right wing. They have it now with João Victor, waiting for that run from his teammate Henriquinho. That's the one into the middle. There's a chance now for Indonesia. They get the ball. Gakpo has it, holds it up, but well tackled by Brazil. 89th minute.
Yes, this is the last chance.
There will be 1 minute.
But I think we will go to extra time.
It's looking like it.
Yes.
And this one's going to go all the way to the goalkeeper, surely. Yeah. That'll be it.
I'm not sure if we will go to PKs, but...
You were saying earlier, like, oh, for the players, I hope it doesn't. I feel like now, I'm looking into your eyes. This is the man who wants some penalty kicks.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, at least they had 2 games and extra time. So they had everything to play for. And still, maybe PK can decide everything, maybe.
Maybe, and then if there are no goals over the next 30 in-game minutes, then we are going to see the drama of a penalty shootout. We've already seen a big penalty save in this competition. I want to say it was Morocco, but I'm probably getting that one wrong. I just remember someone got a penalty save and it led to them.
Oh, yeah, remember that one, yes.
But not too many. We haven't seen too many anymore.
No.
Fairly rare. Well, they might not be later. But for now, Indonesia, in the first of these 15 minutes of extra time, they get the ball into the right wing. That one's on the floor. This is the shooting chance. This must be a shot!
Oh, wow.
Indonesia take it! They held their nerve the whole way! They had Brazil battering them down! But Elga and Binong Boys held their nerve! And they see it through to the semi-finals! Our winners from last year remain in the tournament!
Massive congratulations to Indonesia for winning the battle against Brazil in a very classic game. Oh wow, what a game, what a goal. Hard luck to Brazil. They did everything But Indonesia were so smart to seal the deal in this game.
Devastation once again to the wonderful country of Brazil. Henriquinho was brought in to get to the grand finals again and beyond this time. But unfortunately for him, he has so much emotion for the game, and João Victor, the returning Brazilian hero, once more they came up against Indonesia, and when you're up against Binong Boys and Elga, you have to take your chances and your pressure.
Exactly that. Brazil were dominating the first half. They had many chances, but they couldn't take it. Oh, here we see some tears. I don't really want to see that, but it's part of the game.
It has to be. Henriquinho has to build upon this. He has to learn from it. Understandable when you spend a year of your life focusing on something.
Yeah.
He has put so much time into representing his nation, and I love what I'm seeing right now.
Oh, yeah.
From his more experienced teammate, from João Victor.
But on the other hand, we have the winning nation who played really well. They kept their chances alive, and they played the way they want. I think they were really smart to deal with that game and to beat Brazil and to knock them out.
Yes, they stuck to their guns, did Indonesia. I don't think they'll be completely overjoyed with how that game looked. But what matters is that you have made it through, and we see now.
Yeah, we have seen it all. We have seen tears, we have seen joy, we have seen everything. Oh my God, we are only at the quarterfinals. Can you imagine that?
I know that there's still 3 more big matches to come here in this tournament. We can see the Indonesian players there standing around their flag, maybe offering a prayer, maybe just communicating with each other the importance of what they've just managed. It was not simple for them. They had to fight.
Oh, what a game. Brazil gave them really hard time. I mean, especially in the first half. In the last game, and even the previous games, they played insanely well. But that's what I like about Indonesia, that they can overcome everything. No matter who they play against, they will always be the favorite. And here they are.
Brazil should be incredibly proud of themselves and the fight they have shown. A 90th minute equalizer in the second game when they were going out. They forced that next goal wins scenario and weren't quite able to make early pressure count. It is devastating for the Brazilians, but for Indonesia, they have survived a gauntlet, and Milos is there to hear their thoughts.
An incredible matchup we just witnessed, and if anything, it definitely lives up to the hype of last year's grand final, which this was a rematch of. How do you deal with the pressure of a game like this that goes into game 3, golden goal? You're now in overtime, an extra time. Binong, this is incredible on a stress level.
Yeah, it's something I really enjoy. That's why I always motivated to play in some tournament, because I always like to play in under a big pressure, and a match like that is just something I really enjoy. I just love to play a match like that.
These are sort of the games that makes you love what you do, really. We play for moments like this. Now, with this matchup done, you advance on into the semifinals. Familiar territory for you from last year, but you're playing Italy. They beat Mexico. Do you have anything to say to your Italian opponents on the other side of the arena?
Etorito, last year I did my revenge on Guevara, and this time is your turn.
Wow, there it is. Fighting words from Binong Boys. Thank you very much. What an incredible matchup we just saw, and what words we're just hearing. Veracity, can you check in with the Italian squad?
Etorito, what do you have to say to them?
Fight on. You remember London? We are coming.
Oh, fighting words. I love that. Now, Etorito, I want to break down the matchup that you just played a moment ago. Between first and second game, there was a little bit of a change up in your formation. Talk me through that.
Yeah, it was really hard at the beginning. We tried to use our new purchase in the game, Nedved, but the different style of the players was different. And in the second game, we started with our striker, Pirlo, because he scored all the time. And we get well and confident, and so we are here, semifinal.
Now, you are no stranger to winning tournaments, so tell me about how your FIFA E experience has been. It's your first time here. How does this compare to all of the other tournaments that you've won?
Yeah, this is one of the biggest tournaments where I played. Of course, I played a lot of World Finals, Tokyo, Col, Mallorca, whatever. And all are great tournaments, but the esports stadium is really nice to play, and I hope to play there tomorrow.
Now, you could have played off against Brazil. You are, of course, not doing so now. Which one of the two teams would you have rather played against, Brazil or Indonesia? And tell me why.
I mean, with Brazil, we played twice yesterday, so it was better for us to play with Brazil because we know them, but it's even excited to play with Indonesia because they are the actual champion, and so it will be fine to have this battle.
So you telling me, finally, to round things out, that you're confident you're going to beat the ex-world champions?
Let's see, this is a game. It's 50-50. Flip coin, they can win, we can win. So let's see just game by game, and let's see how it will be.
Well, best of luck to you and the rest of the squad as well. Milos, I believe you got a little something for me over there.
Yeah, we're just running around trying to get the beat, really, of what's going on. I'm here with the Polish squad that just won. Went to game 3. I'm here with Zilo and Ostribov now. Shimano, Zilo. Thank you very much for this matchup, for being here with us. Now, you came back after your first game against Turkey. What was that like to bring it back? What did you have to do to get the win?
Well, we've played against Turkey probably the most out of any team. We know how they play in defence and attack, but we know it was going to be hard. Defensively, they're like one of the best teams in this tournament. So we just knew we had to play our game and something like the goal will come. So my brother turned into prime Neymar, scored with Del Piero, the best goal I've seen in the tournament. So yeah, all thanks to him, to be honest.
There you go. That's brotherly love, really. That's helping out in this matchup. Now, look, Polska Górom, that's something we've all heard a million times. It works out, but you're going against Saudi Arabia in the semifinals. Now, they said it doesn't matter who they face off against, either you or Turkey, because you're both really good at competing. Is there anything you'd like to say to the Saudi team ahead of your semifinal?
I mean, yeah, same likewise. They're top 4 now. You know, everyone here is the level's insane. We're the best players in the world. No game is easy. We know each other well. We've trained a lot as well, so they know how we play. We know how they play, and yeah, it'll be a hard match, like a chess match, to be honest. And I wish them good luck.
There you go, the brother Bruff working out here for Poland. Thank you very much, Dziękuję, gentlemen. We're gonna send it back to the studio because, my God, these games were electrifying.
So is your energy. Thank you so much, Milos. And then there were four nations left battling it out for that trophy there and a chance to be the FIFA E World Cup console champions for 2025.
What a bunch of games, honestly, Rachel. Like, we were, especially the Brazil-Indonesia game, and I'm like pacing up and down. I'm watching Henry Kino's heart rate nearly spiking at 190. What an incredible showing in every single one of our quarterfinals.
The fact that we got 3 golden goals as well, Alia, I don't think anyone expected that.
No, I don't think any of us did, indeed. And the fact that the Brazil and Indonesia game had to go to extra time and they scoring right afterwards. But, I mean, it's heartbreaking to see the Brazilians crying as well.
That's the drama we wanted, though, and we got exactly what we called for. These, though, are your semi-finalists today. Italy take on the defending champions, Indonesia, and then Poland take on maybe the underdogs of the tournament now, Saudi Arabia. I'm going to say congratulations once again to the likes of Japan, Turkey, Brazil, and Mexico for getting to the 3rd day of competitions here in Riyadh. Wow. Then there were 4. This really ups the ante now, Chris.
It really does. And to be fair, like, some expected results amongst them. The Saudi Arabia-Japan game, I wasn't sure. I was kind of leaning Japan, but Saudi Arabia just proving so resilient. And then for the other side of things, wow, I mean, what an impressive turnaround from Poland as well.
Let's just take you through exactly what it means to get to these semi-finals as well. And I'm talking money this time, not just national pride. There we go. Look, semi-finalists guaranteed $9,000 there. And then if they get past this next set of matches. I say matches because it's 2 legs, and we saw it go to golden goal in 3 out of the 4 quarterfinals. You are guaranteed $18,000. We're really climbing the ladder now, aren't we? It's really getting serious in terms of the prize pool, exactly what's on the line for all these nations. But what a set of quarterfinals. I don't think we could have expected much better to set up this really exciting knockout day.
Yeah, we weren't really expecting that at all. Maybe 1 or 2 going to potentially go in golden goal, but the fact that we saw 3 of them go in that direction shows, like we talked about at the top of the show on the very first day, how close this competition is. We just got the example of that.
Yeah, and talking about how intense, how close it is, I think that's just highlighted with the heart rates that we've been seeing throughout as well. Everybody is out of their seats, their heart rates going through the roof, as we can see here. This is obviously Brazil-Indonesia matchup, and they look a little higher than we've seen the last couple of days, Chris.
No surprise to see it either. We were watching Henry Kino through, as mentioned, like spiking up towards 190. It was wild to see. But you can see it all the way through. I think there was a huge spike for Brazil at the beginning of that game 3 because of the goal they nearly scored 3 minutes in. Massive tackle comes in from Indonesia. And yeah, I mean, just absolutely incredible game. Like straight away at the beginning, you thought that they potentially had it. Incredible work from those boys, though, to defend that and then to turn it around.
And then to turn it around again, because we've got 15 minutes until the semi-finals. We want them all to, lower those heart rates, keep composed and calm. I'm just looking to the floor behind me. Most of the teams have left their seats, as we'd probably expect. Team Poland have gone out there. No Team Italy. I'm just looking around. I can't see if Indonesia are there as well, and rightly so. I'd just take a moment, wouldn't you, just to leave the arena, the stress, the lights, and just have a little talking to away from our prying eyes, Alia.
Definitely. And what's interesting about the semi-final matches as well, both teams, they haven't played against each other before, so we won't know how the games are going to go. And it's also first and second from both groups that have made it through to the semis, which arguably is the top 4 nations across the world.
Italy mentioned that, didn't they? They said, we've played Brazil twice. Indonesia, actually, we don't really know how they play. They said they could have favoured Brazil because they maybe have worked them out by now, but it is not to be. It is Italy taking on Indonesia and Poland taking on Saudi Arabia. They are your semi-finals, and this is our featured matchup. Of course it is. It's the man who's won everything, Etorito, with Italy and Naples alongside him, and then the defending champions, Indonesia. That's your featured matchup. That's one of our 2 semi-finals. That's coming up next.
Your heads, folks. Trading for World Cup in North America has begun, and you would not believe what these guys are up to.
White 17, hot!
Preparations spiral out of control across the globe as the hunt for World Cup glory intensifies. Buckle up, folks. We're just getting started.
When you're all in, anything can happen. Enjoy the moment with a Coca-Cola.
Movement that inspires.
Reach your impossible with the AI-powered Legion Pro 7i, Lenovo Legion.
Slim like a whisper, sharp in the hand, never unplanned. Every move got his game, smooth like ice, cold like flame. What's your edge?
Hello, Moto. Welcome to the world's best airline, where the journey begins before you fly, where lounges are a destination in themselves, and your world is always within reach. A place where you're looked after, and the smallest details bring the biggest smiles. This is Qatar Airways, the world's best for a record 9th time.
في السفر حتلاقي مفاجآت جديدة عليك، وهذا يمكن يخليك تتردد شوي. مع فيزا كل شيء مقبول، حتى ما يعض، صح؟ مقبولة عندنا، لأن هالخطوة اللي تسبق إنك تسوي شيء كنت دائما تشوفه مستحيل، وهذا اللي يميزك.
The digital world speaks the language of zeros and ones, and now, with advanced digital systems, countless new numbers join the field. A 7 can break the pattern. A 9 can be the game changer. At Globant, cutting-edge technologies are at the core of everything we do, driving new and innovative solutions to shape the future of FIFA and companies across every industry. We are the official tournament sponsor of the FIFA Finals 2025. Globant, technology that dares to delight.
What was that?
Smells finer than the finest perfumes. New Axe Fine Fragrance.
Running circles
Well, welcome back then to the eFootball World Cup featuring eFootball console. It is semi-finals time. Only 4 teams remain, and this is our featured matchup, our featured semi-final. Italy takes on Indonesia. What a matchup. It's one for the ages. We've seen it being really billed as the one that everybody wants to see, and that's because before the break, if you joined us after those quarterfinals, well, Italy had something to say to Indonesia, didn't they? They said the fight is on. They called them out because this is a rematch of another very important match, is it not, Chris Tunn?
It is, yes. They played up against each other in 2019 in the World Semi-finals. It was Bing On Boys' up-and-coming tournament at Rio.
We love a bit of beef, don't we?
I mean, they had like frying words to say towards them. It's like, remember London, I'm coming for you now.
I love that. A bit of history coming out onto the global stage once again, and that means they'll mean business. They're even more fired up for this, Chris.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, look, you've got every motivation anyway at this same time. You represent your country, you want to get it done. But for being up against a rival like you've had in the past as well, it's just a little extra sprinkle. Yeah,
having those storylines just come through these tournaments is exactly what we're here for. These sports stories, they're incredible. Obviously, we had one, didn't we, earlier? It wasn't to be for Brazil. It was the featured matchup last year. It was our grand final last year. It was Brazil taking on Indonesia, and it had to go to golden goal plus extra time. Indonesia got the job done to send out the runners-up from 12 months ago, Brazil. I'm really pleased actually to say they've been gracious in defeat, and they've spoken to our reporter CJ.
Here with Jay Victor from Brazil after that crazy quarterfinal matchup going right to the wire. I know it's pretty fresh, but what were your thoughts on that match?
If I have one word, is unlucky. Honestly, you play better the 3 games. You make a great comeback, and the 3 games you play far better than Indonesia. But I think this year is not for Brazil. I don't know. You can see in group stage when you try too much and the ball don't enter, and now it's the same. This is frustrating for sure. You don't like to lose, but the plans of God is better. So just stay work, and we will have another day. You'll be champion. I know this.
Obviously a tough draw to play Indonesia in that quarterfinal. You kind of said it there, but what do you take away from this year to move into next year?
Honestly, just stay training because you are so good playing together, and I think this is the best duo I play in the last years. And yeah, just do it. Thank you for everyone to support Brazil, to trust in us. And yeah, sorry for this. I promise I will back better.
Yeah, pretty special to have so much support here in Riyadh and also back at home. You kind of mentioned it to the supporters, but also friends and family, anyone else you want to thank. The floor is yours.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. You know, this is a hard moment, but sometimes you won, sometimes you lose. I know I am at time, I don't want world champion, but I have mentality, I have gameplay. I know one day I won one tournament like FIFAe, I know.
Thank you very much. It's been so much fun to watch, and we'll love to see you next year. Cheers.
Well, the words from Jay Victor there, they were unlucky. Yeah, it was probably all down to those group stages. If they maybe had got a couple of more points, it would have been an easier draw in those quarterfinals. Right, well, you can see we've got a lot of action, a lot of movement on the floor, and that's because the semi-finals are fast approaching. We are going to do a coin toss between Italy and Indonesia. Good friend Alex is down there as well.
It's about time you did something.
So for the second game,
the other team. So the team who lost the coin flip will be home in the second game. So head is Italy in game 1 and a potential golden goal game. Tails is Indonesia in game 1, potential golden goal game.
So until
it falls on the floor. Clear?
Vai, vai.
Noi non ci arriviamo con dello.
Questo a me ok.
È tedesca, non lo so.
So it's head.
Okay,
Italy. Italy will be home in the first game. Indonesia in the second game. And Italy in the potential golden goal game. Good luck.
All the best. All the luck, bro. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
Okay, so it looks like Italy won that coin toss there. So obviously get a slight advantage in the first matchup, I think I was understanding from that one. But again, it's the tiniest of margins now when it gets to the semi-final stage. I mean, I don't particularly think it matters too much which way that coin toss went there, but Italy won it nonetheless, and it just makes it a bit more exciting for them. They think they have the edge in this first match, possibly. Let's just get in a little bit more then to this matchup, because this is now the one that we all want to see. We have one every round, and I think for all of us sitting here, this is the one. And it's because Eterito is such a fabulous player. He's won pretty much everything there is to have won, Alia.
Yeah, indeed. And I think throughout this whole tournament, Italy have been the strongest contenders and also the most consistent. But on Indonesia's end, they are so cool, calm and collected. The entire quarterfinal, they sat on their chairs with their legs crossed and they just relaxed. And I think that's going to be their biggest advantage. But I mean, I can't call this game.
What would it even do to Eterito's career to get to a final here? Because he's won everything, like I just mentioned.
I think if he goes on to win, I think that solidifies him as the actual GOAT. I think a lot of people have conversations around him, Guevara, amongst others, of who the best player of all time would be. I think a lot of people would tell you it's Eterito anyway, but that would cement it entirely for me if he was to go on to win this week. I think, though, as far as these two teams go, Italy would have had the so-called easier matchup, I want to say, of course, in that quarterfinals, and struggled enough to get through it. But Indonesia to beat Brazil is a massive scalp for them to take into this, and they'll have an immense amount of confidence. Whereas Italy would have thought they maybe would have brushed through that game.
And maybe it cements Eterito's initials as well, because they're actually EG in real life, and then they'll be cemented as the OG. That's what people like to call him, don't they? And it also kind of shushes me, because I said earlier on, I think or 2 days ago on the group stage, I said, is he still as good? Because he won his first world title age 14, and yes, he's still in the semi-finals.
It feels like they kind of went through their group at a bit of a canter as well, so it feels like it's just, that's the same thing every single time for Italy. It just seems smooth and steady. When I watch them, it's not like they're lighting it up on occasions, scoring hundreds of goals all the time, right? They are just a very, very steady team, but in the same sense as Indonesia as well.
In terms of what we've just seen, though, in quarterfinals, obviously Italy came out a little bit slower. Mexico took that first leg. Can you look at them and go, okay, who knows how to come out firing quickly? Will it be Italy or Indonesia?
I think normally, based on the quarterfinals, Italy, in the group stages, they did come out firing a lot quicker and a lot faster. I was surprised to see Mexico win the first game 1-0. I don't think Indonesia will score first, just because Italy are steady. But Indonesia, they take their time. They like to feel out their opponents. And I mean, it's just one of those things you just can't call it.
They did have some chances, didn't they, though? It was the golden goal after 3 minutes. We thought they might score, and then extra time, they did actually score really quickly.
Yeah, they did. And I think, that makes it easier as well, not having to go through, 60, 70 minutes of stress in that third game. We'll give you a little bit of leeway heading into this one. But I did want to make a point about the play styles in a certain sense. When we see, obviously, Brazil, we kind of talked it up with their draft that it was more of a dribbling. It's that Brazil style of football, where Indonesia got a lot of their goals and a lot of their opportunities was via their physicality. We seen in the very first game, it was 2 separate goals from headers. It just always felt like they were looking for that long ball, playing that so-called meta to try and score those goals, as many teams will do. Italy are more set up in a physical way as well, so they're not necessarily going to have as much of an edge in that department as they maybe would have against Brazil.
And Italy said they had to make some changes in that last matchup against Mexico. They brought Pirlo on, and he was decisive in the end at getting the victory for the Italians there. Well, we can talk all day long about what we think, permutations, etc., etc. Let's put these two and CJ on the spot as well and show you guys at home who they think is going to win this semi-final. Where have you guys gone? Tell us, Alia, who you've picked.
I've chosen to go with Indonesia just because that's my Southeast Asian brothers. That's who I really, really want them to win. I'm the only one that's completely biased, but I really hope they don't let me down, especially that you two have both gone for Italy.
I just think for me, I went with reason more so than I know, realistically, I just think Eterito, I think it's his time to really cement himself. Indonesia have not looked like the Indonesia of last year. I think, they have definitely felt like they bleed a little more than necessarily have done in previous years. So I think they are somewhat there for the taking. I think Italy have been the best team at this tournament so far on the console side, and I think they will continue to be as well.
We just keep, though, talking about Eterito, and we just keep talking about Binom Boys. It's 2v2 here, guys.
It is.
We can't forget their partners.
No, absolutely not. And I think their partners are all part of it. But it always feels like one of them kind of takes the plaudits in a certain sense. But realistically, you are nothing without your partner. But it's a very, very different game co-op. And I think it's easier for us to focus on the solo players in their single careers. But for these guys as well, the experience has been there. Eterito has won in 2v2 at the highest level. Okay, in the competition it wasn't FIFAe, but at the same time, he has won up against the very best in this kind of format with his partner Naples also doing fantastically as well. Of course, we know what Indonesia did, and we were here last year. So this is two very, very good duos that have so many different facets to their game, and it'll be a fantastic competition, no doubt.
Well, it looks like Elgar has actually just left the chair at the moment next to Binom Boys there. I'm not sure what's happening there. Maybe we're doing a 1v1 and then a 2v2 on the other side. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Maybe he needed a quick bathroom break before it gets started. Or maybe the nerves are kicking in because obviously, he is alongside the defending champions, I know, nations, and then we've got Naples here. He's ready to go.
They might be icing them, to be fair. They might actually, legitimate tactics of like, oh, actually, no, actually, I need to go to the bathroom. Esports players do not pertain to schedules, okay? I've been doing this long enough in so many different games. They will take their time as much as they need to, but I don't think you're going to deter somebody who is as experienced as these two, especially that guy on the right-hand side.
I mean, it's all mind games, isn't it, at the end of the day? He probably didn't need the bathroom break. He just thought, I'm just going to leave, let them simmer. We can see he is coming back. But interestingly, in the chat as well, Indonesia, 80%.
I find that very, very typical, to be honest with you. The Indonesian fans, they back their boys to the hilt.
I was just having a little look as well who Indonesia took in the draft. So they took Pele and Iniesta. Two people that really can help them here, Chris?
Yeah, so they've kind of went in a different direction. I think that's so they can pivot. They have typically been more of a physical team throughout. As mentioned, two headers pretty much in their very first game up against Brazil in the quarterfinals. Just to see them go with players more centric around dribbling and, of course, the passing, Iniesta. I mean, how many times do we have to talk about that guy? They went in that direction. I think that's more so for the opportunity and the ability to pivot if they need to.
And Italy, Nesta, Nedved.
Well, Nesta's, I mean, you've got to go with the Italian, really. I mean, you've got to lock that in. And Nedved, of course, as well, another player who played his trade in Italy for quite a long time as well. So maybe with a heart on that side of things for Italy. But Italy had a first choice as well. So they would have prioritized those picks. They had that opportunity to do that. Indonesia would have had somewhat players who were left.
I was going to say that. So Italy, remember, finished top of their group, and then Indonesia second. So, still had pretty good picks, Alia.
They definitely did, and I think it's no surprise that they took Pele from Brazil. They have, throughout the tournament, struggled to convert and score goals a little bit, so hopefully with that addition, we won't have another golden goal situation here.
Now give me another golden goal. I'm all for it.
Oh, I want penalties now.
I know we're waiting for our featured matchup, but let's just have a quick word on our second semi-final as well, because it is going to be played alongside this one. It's Poland taking on Saudi Arabia. Poland, I mean, they had to work for it, didn't they, to get through. Also took it to golden goal. They were the first side, though, to go through after losing that first leg 1-0 and then winning the second 2-1. Alia, they've been impressive, and they need to kind of live up to, I guess, the last 2 days and what we've seen from them as they go up against a Saudi Arabian side who've got nothing to lose.
No, I mean, Poland as well, they clicked yesterday. They won all 5 of the games, and today as well. They lost the first game, but that second game, they did what they needed to do. Saudi Arabia, on the other hand, they are definitely the underdogs for this game, but they're on home turf, and they know if they make it to that final tomorrow, they will have the Saudi Arabian fans behind them. And as we know, they are loud, they are supportive, and that would be probably their best chance at winning. finals and have a chance of making the finals tomorrow on your home turf as well. That is something to be so proud of.
It's extra motivation, 100%, because you look at that side of the bracket, we said it at the top of the show, anybody has a chance to get to that final out of those 4 teams, and it's going to be one of Poland or Saudi Arabia.
Just looking at Indonesia now, they're just going through maybe a little pre-match ritual. Elgar has come back. Didn't know where he went. I'm always interested to see where the players go before, really so close before kickoff. There must be a routine of their own. Like a lot of athletes, a lot of esports stars, they have these routines they feel they must stick to. They're superstitious, aren't they?
Yeah, sometimes you might just need to have gone to the toilet, or might have a long game here, 2 full matches, might go to golden goal, but I think that's a beautiful sight that before every single game, they all huddle around in a circle, hold the Indonesian flag, and just pray, and have that little bit of, enjoyment. Yeah, togetherness, thank you. So, I mean, I can't wait.
Yeah, they are very, I guess, a cohesive team, as are the Italians here. All 4 of our semi-finalists have to, and especially Poland. You can't get more together than 2 brothers playing.
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, you're definitely going to have that cohesion, right? For them to just be playing at home, it's just like pop your head in his bedroom. Oh, all right, mate, you want to jump in for a game? Mind you, they probably don't live together still. They are actually grown men. Absolute fairness. But yeah, I think having that cohesion for them, they'll be feeling confident. And on the same side that we said, okay, Saudi Arabia, they'd have 100% have taken a semi-final up against Poland. That will be reiterated on the other side. Both teams will have respect for each other, but I think if
for a chance to compete tomorrow for the trophy. Wes, this one is, well, one for the history books, no doubt, as there's an early strike off one post and almost another.
How close was that to opening the lead there from Italy really early on? Would have been a really flash goal, of course. You feel as though they might need to get right into Indonesia and just unsettle them early.
Well, that's most certainly going to be a valid tactic. We saw in the previous round how late in the day Indonesia left it against Brazil in their quarterfinal. Had everyone watching them and waiting to see who would prevail. In the end, it was last year's champions trying to go back-to-back. One of the most difficult things to do in esports. And they survived, scored the golden goal. And now face Italy here, as that one is a foul by Naples. And, well, an early booking here.
Yeah, early booking, and also an early opportunity for Indonesia to maybe start to look at their set-piece game. We saw it with great effect against Brazil, and they replicate it here against Italy.
Elgar to swing it in then, towards the waiting head of Binong boys. Nothing doing this time around, though. A reminder, in this semi-final, it is a 2-legged affair. Aggregate score over the 2 legs will advance. Played short now to Elgar, cross in. Headed away, and now Italy can start to steady things here just a little bit. Bring the ball out and relieve some of the pressure following that corner kick.
Yeah, it'll be good for them to just get the ball underneath their own control. We know Italy, historically as a nation, love to have possession of the ball as they move downfield. They'll look to try and keep that away from Indonesia, keep that damage to a minimum.
Good carrying of the ball there by Naples. But Elgar, once again, the man who was late to his pod to start our semi-finals. Did some nice defensive work there in Italy. They have to be very careful. It's another Naples foul. That's the captain, Virgil, into the book as well.
Yeah, and the issue with that, though, is that you're giving Indonesia a bit of a target to work with, because you can't have too many of those or you'll end up with some red cards. And 16 minutes in with a defender already booked, that's a really dicey place to have it.
Through ball following the free kick. That's Rizky Fidan, far side. Again, looking for that target man in the middle. Eterito brings it away. Rizky Fidan and Eterito, of course, having words for each other following their quarterfinals, knowing that this would be a rematch of a semi-final in 2019. After 90 minutes, the Italian came out on top. Just a 1-0 margin separating the two. Was a long time ago, Wes, wasn't it, back in London?
Yeah, it really was. We're talking 5-6 years ago, but there's been a lot of growth. There's been a lot of eFootball since then. That is certainly now, and it's certainly a different format as well.
6 years ago. Fidan, just 16 years old back then, as Italy try and break through the lines. 25 minutes gone, still goalless between our two semi-finalists. That's a long ball, asking the questions of the Italian defence. Eterito clear, and Eterito forward here as well. Naples on the ball. An update in our second semi-final. Poland against Saudi Arabia, still goalless after about half an hour there as well. As the ball settling here for Indonesia.
Yeah, you can see Indonesia just now trying to put their best foot forward, aerially trying to deliver it in, but again, Van Dijk in the air, it's incredibly difficult to beat as Italy retain possession, now looking to go back down the other end.
He'll be contending with Virgil van Dijk at the back, as you said. That's a nice win, though, by Elgar, and he can try and feed the double touch to Rizky Fidan. Eterito stepping up and clearing the ball. And this one is just so tense, so nervy. 10 minutes from half-time.
Yeah, you get the feeling that the freedom just deserts these players when it gets into knockout phase. There isn't a safety net anymore. You have to put your best performance on, but with that tension, it just takes away and almost restricts them a little bit.
Well, I know a lot of Indonesian fans, no doubt, had already booked their flight into Riyadh, anticipating their nation to make a second straight FIFA E-World Cup final tomorrow. It's about 5 o'clock in Jakarta at the moment. They'll be watching this one with nerves, with hope, with all kinds of emotions as their nation chase the elusive back-to-back. Here comes Italy, though. They have really, I don't want to say shrunken away from the spotlight, but we haven't seen too much of them on the broadcast, Wes, but they have just been firing in impressive result after impressive result. Brazil, Chile, Saudi Arabia, many nations on the way here, falling to the wayside at the hands of the Italians.
Yeah, they've been imperious at times, and again, it comes with that experience, it comes with that quality that they have at their disposal. And it's no surprise to see them in a semi-final. It did take them to a golden goal against Mexico, but they still had that confidence to take it away from them right in that third game.
Half-time well and truly on the horizon here. Which way will the last attack of this first half go? Italy in the possession currently, and the ball still in a 50-50 area now. Eterito can bring it forward for what is the last attack of the half. Always gone for goal from quite a way out. That is bread and butter for the goalkeeper, and the referee will blow the whistle. Italy, Indonesia locked at 0.
Sometimes it's a tactic in and of itself to do the most simple thing, as that we just saw with that strike there. You sometimes see eFootball players, especially on console, they try and do trickery, they try and super cancel and dummy and double touch and all of these different things to unseat a defender. Sometimes it's the most basic thing to just turn and have a shot. It can almost give yourself a surprise opportunity.
Half-time then 0-0 across both of our semi-finals. A chance for tactics to change. A chance for the third men in the squad to have their say, their input. Putra, of course, for Indonesia, and former pro himself, S. Venom, behind the Italians. We're underway here in the second half. Italy in their famous blue shirts. The Indonesians, the reigning champions of this competition, in the red, and starting out with possession here. This is Binong Boys, aka Rizky Finan, in possession of the ball now. Bump forward towards Elga to try and hit it on. But this is so cagey, isn't it, Wes? So cagey. This is game one, of course. We have another game to come afterwards, but mutual respect between the two nations. It's really fitting of the occasion, isn't it, that they're showing each other a lot of respect. I'll come back to that, though, as Naples now has a chance to turn his man into the feet of Eterito. Nice touch, and again off the stanchion behind the goal. Best chance of the game so far, maybe.
Yeah, I took a big deep breath in from our angle. That looked like it was nestling in the back of the net. It was really good ball movement. Again, double touch, then stopping themselves, and then double touch again just to find that angle. But shot goes wide from Italy. But as you said, first real opportunity of this game one in this semi-final here in Riyadh.
And it came just under 10 minutes into the second half. But right on cue, the three-time world champion says, you want a bit of entertainment? Okay, let me remind you what I can do. And I wonder if that will just act as a catalyst, as a spark plug here for the Italians. Will have to serve as a warning for Indonesia as well. Elga on the ball. Just so much respect shown between the two nations. They know what's at stake here, Wes.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And I think it's certainly, you hear a little bit of trash talk in the pre-warm-up or in the build-up to this, but when it gets on the sticks, that goes away, and that healthy respect between these two nations is very much on show as Indonesia look to build up.
Yeah, that's a high press from them. On the hour mark, they're trying to press and push that Italian back line back towards their own goal. Still goalless in our other semi-final between Poland and Saudi Arabia as well. It is as tight as you like here in the SEF Arena in Riyadh. Eterito headed on. Ooh, that's a misplaced pass, though, by Naples. Can't give too many of those away. And that's a big foul by him as well.
Yeah, disrupt the flow when you've had a lax pass. You sometimes see it in real football, lax pass, and then you start charging around the field trying to get it back, but then you suffer a foul and it's a free kick on halfway. Meanwhile, we've cut across to the other semi. Or at least I believe I thought we had, but apologies. But you can see there the pause between these two.
Yeah, big chance for some tactical changes, but
per l'Italia, numero 8, numero 21, Pirlo, numero
5 wins
11.
on the bounce.
Lasciano il campo per
We'll keep an eye on that one.
Totti.
As the goalkeeper for Italy will just carry this one out. About 25 minutes left in this one, Wes.
Yeah, you can see substitutions are inbound, one of which is noticeably Jan Koller on for Indonesia, so you can see the warning signs. Of course, they've used Cody Gakpo to great effect as well. Certainly a player they look to.
Jan Koller, the difference maker in the end in several of those quarter-final games in the previous round against Brazil. Might just give them a bit of a different dimension as the Italians gallop forward into the feet of Naples now. Into the box, Eterito. Naples, good combo play! And it's good! It's a goal! It's Italy in front in their first eFootball FIFA E-World Cup appearance. They lead the reigning champions in the semi-final.
He's been the hero for his nation before. He may just have done it again. It's wonderful from Naples. We'll see it again here Again, Eterizo takes that pass in, and again, it's just taking a shot when the shot is available. It wonderfully nestles into that far corner. Italy have their lead. You'll see again, beautiful left-footed shot. And talking of Italians, it was with Francesco Totti, of all people.
That'll make the Italians watching smile. The man who called Rome his home for so many years. Putting his virtual nation into the lead. What do Indonesia have in response? That's the question. Nice over the top through ball. Finds the feet of Elga, and here is Jan Koller at the front post. Just not linking up as succinctly as you might like here from Indonesia.
Yeah, now they're up against it. 13 minutes left to go. It is all about goal difference. It's not necessarily about the win. It's more so about how heavily you win or lose in this type of environment, in this type of format. So maybe Indonesia might be happy enough to sit there at 1-0, knowing that they can go all out for it in game 2, or they may try and get it back with the remaining minutes on the clock.
Yeah, less than 10 of them available to our virtual players. And do not be mistaken by those graphics. It is Italy 1, Indonesia 0 here in this semi-final. Over to our others.
Per l'Italia, numero 7, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Back to our featured match. Italy 1, Indonesia 0. Changes have been made. Long throw up to Jan Koller. Cleared by Eterizo. They'll need lots of this for the rest of this game here, Wes.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see the way they've changed their front line as well, is that Alexander Sorloth on, as well as Julian Alvarez. So again, a little bit more pressure going into that back line. Just to, once this ball gets cleared, they're able to just go and press it quickly.
Oh, Italy thought about coming forward with that attack in the last 5 minutes. As a result, it's allowed possession to just drift back into a 50-50 scenario. They will keep coming here, Italy. They know this is essentially 180 minutes, 2 90-minute games, so why not keep coming forward? 90th minute now. We'll see how much stoppage time added on, a minimum of 2 minutes, and that's a big win back by Binong Boys. Takes a strike, but it's a good save by Naples, and that might just be the end of game number 1.
Corners for Naples with that manual save. It will end 1-0 to Italy in that first game. We cut across to
by the referee's assistant. And Saudi are chasing this.
They are. They're trying to get just their noses in front. Again, it'd be such a psychological advantage for either team here to get a goal in injury time. Not sure whether it's going to happen. It remains to be seen, but there's enough time here for at least one, if not two chances.
Poland in possession, perhaps wanting to nullify some of this added time. They'll head it forward now by Ostrowicz onto his brother. Ostry trying to give chase here. He'll stay amongst it. Into the 4th minute of 5 added on. And Saudi, they're galloping forward. This is Figo 94 on that far side. 5th minute of 5 added on. Header, was it one in the box? Either way, will go towards the Polish keeper. A sigh of relief by everyone in this matchup. And semi-final number 2. Game 1 finishes 0-0 between Saudi Arabia and Poland. So nicely, almost deliciously, dare I say, Wes, for our second games of our semi-finals.
Yeah, I'm not really sure who's going to be happy with that result, because Saudi Arabia looked to try and push the issue in towards that 90th minute. Poland have been on a rampage since day 2. I'm not sure who actually prefers that result.
Something tells me Poland might be a bit frustrated by that. They haven't really had too many tough tests so far here in Riyadh. Of course, they had to face Turkey in the previous round. You'd have to say that perhaps on paper they favoured themselves against Saudi Arabia, but the hosts digging deep.
Well, you have to wonder how much the extra game will factor into it for Poland. Not necessarily was a full game, but it's still the pressure of going into a golden goal scenario. You then got to try and almost calm yourself down a bit just to get back into neutral, so then get reset here, because you don't want to come into these types of games full of adrenaline. But for these players, it's going to be hard because, again, representing the nations on the biggest international stage, there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of emotion that goes with that.
We can take a look here at our match highlights, sponsored by Axe. Not too much to shout about, really, from our matches, because we only have the 1 goal between the 2 games in our semi-finals. That's how close it is here in this competition. But that is the difference between the reigning champions and the pretenders to the throne, Italy. It's been some really, really tight action here, Wes.
Yeah, and it's been all been about moments. It's that manual save there from Naples where probably would celebrate it as much as he did a goal, but again, it's been those moments, and it is always about those moments, especially knockout football, that you have to go and perform. And in these moments, you've got to lean on your partner, because you're going into the second game. For Indonesia, you're 1 goal down. For Saudi Arabia, it's a 0-0. Like, you've really got to lean on the experience you've got.
You've definitely got, in our 2 semi-finals, one nation on either side that has more of that experience, more of that cohesion. In semi-final number 1, Indonesia, they play 2 versus 2 regularly in the Indonesian eFootball League. On the other side, Poland, the 2 brothers, you'd imagine they play a decent amount together. How much does that play into their hands and as an advantage into these 2 semi-finals?
Well, it's essentially one player playing with 2 controllers, especially when you have a link such as being siblings. You know, I made the joke in the sofa on day 1 in terms of being the best player in your house. Of course, there is a 3rd brother that goes with it, which both brothers arguably say is the better of the 3, which is quite incredible when you think about it. But it's just knowing what that person's going to do. It's like left hand and right hand being able to communicate one another simultaneously, and that's that type of link that Poland have. And it pays dividends, because you know instinctively what you need to do. You don't even need to look where your partner is, because you know where they're going to be.
Great shots of our players here. Really illustrating some of the tension in the arena at the moment. Poland looked pretty relaxed. We saw Italy as well, ready to continue where they left off. Indonesia, they know what they need to do. They trail Italy 1-0. Thanks to that man's goal. Naples on the near side. What a finish it was.
It was a great finish. It was just one touch out, left-footed strike with Francesco Totti, nestled into the net. Wonderful finish from him. And again, as we alluded to, was formerly a national champion in Europe with Italy. We once told him he was the coolest man in Italy once upon a time, and he's proving it here in Riyadh.
Some last-minute checks being made. Potentially the last chance we might see some of these players, some of these nations here this year. It's been a long, long road throughout the selection process, throughout our member associations, qualifying roads, of course, the regional online qualifiers just to make it here, the group stages over the last couple of days. You've survived the quarterfinals. You would hate to go home just one step away, Wes, from a chance at that trophy.
Yeah, the battle they've had to get just to represent their nations, to then represent their nations in the regional qualifiers, to then get through to here has been, again, that's fighting, and then you've had to fight through a group stage or into a semi-final. It's all to play for.
It is indeed. Let's play. It's been 3 days of competition. We have 2 semi-finals at the end of it. Only 1 trophy. Here we go. Semi-finals resumed. Indonesia, Italy. Who will reign supreme at the end of this 90 minutes? It's a nice start here for Binong Boys, crossing it in as Rizky Fainan tries to find his teammate in the opening 5 minutes. Unsuccessful this time around.
Yeah, trying to get a flash goal early. They're going to have to come out of the traps pretty quickly, Indonesia, just to, again, just shake the confidence of Italy. You know, real world football, they're synonymous with defensive football and Catenaccio football. This is a different level. They're going to have to, they've got something to defend here.
Nice strength by Naples. Will allow Eserito far side to return the favour. Here's Eserito! Italy again! With no respect for the reigning champions. They go 2-0 up. Italy 2, Indonesia 0. And the back-to-back dream, Wes, is slowly fading.
He loves to be the villain, doesn't he, Eserito? It's a wonderful finish. A great teamwork again from him and Naples. See it again, a beautiful ball inside. Neat drag back, rolls it into Hullet. First time strike. And that's what we're saying about those split-second moments, is you take those opportunities when they are given to you. And boy, have they here.
Unfortunately, Indonesian fans, your eyes do deceive you. It is Italy 2, Indonesia 0, and a big 80-odd minutes of eFootball for Indonesia to show that champion spirit. Otherwise, their tournament life will end here. Well done, Eserito. That's a bit of breathing room now for Italy. Rizky Fainan on the ball. Nice work inside by Elga. Will find Rizky Fainan there. Oh, goes straight for goal, tries to take everyone by surprise, wins a corner.
That's what we're talking about, doing the less obvious thing, because, again, I'm trying to read minds here, but Indonesia have maybe thought, well, Italy might manual goalkeeper and drag their goalkeeper into the middle. Would have been a very easy opportunity to put in at that near post, but instead, just goes to as a corner for Indonesia.
It'll be Rizky Fainan stepping up to hit this one into the box, tried to header it back to a teammate, only as far as the Italian keeper. Italy 2, Indonesia 0. The next goal is absolutely vital, isn't it, Wes?
It absolutely is, because this mountain for Indonesia to climb got even harder with that goal from Eserito. Just means that they've got to go and score at least 2 here to begin with a shout. And I'll be honest, Italy's defence looks absolutely rigid.
Well, their attack's not looking too bad either. Acrobatics required by Rizky Fainan to clear that one. But they're not giving this up just yet, Indonesia. They will press and they will push right to the very end. Here's Elga. Just need that bit of spark here, don't they, Indonesia? They're growing in the final third of the pitch. Nice turn, nice shot! Good save, Eterito that time.
Yeah, it's an important save there because, again, you're having to react and then you're having to deselect the goalkeeper once he's in the right place to be able to make that save. Italy have managed to retain possession downfield. 25 minutes gone here.
Oh, we'll keep an eye on that one.
There will be 1 minute added time.
goalkeeper's trying to read it. Wonderful.
The scales tipping one way in semi-final number 2. I mentioned earlier there'd been a goal in this game. It's now Italy 2, Indonesia 1. How many times would have risky Faidan come up against Eterito and his broken silence team throughout the years of PES League, throughout the years of competitive eFootball? He trails him and his Italian side here. But he's on the ball at the moment, just trying to fend off his counterpart on the other side. Carries the ball well as well. That's a, well, fair challenge, says the referee, as the blue shirts of Italy start to pour forward.
Yeah, bravery in that slide challenge, because again, you have to be incredibly committed and know exactly where your opponent's going. Italy now have a chance to break it.
Real chance for another Dago. Heroic block there. Not sure how much Resmi Faidan knew about that one. Good chance maybe for Italy to put this tie to bed here.
Yeah, if that movement from Binon Boys wasn't pinpoint to get him in the way, that could have been a beautifully nestled goal into the back of the net, but instead goes for a corner to Italy.
It'll be Eterito to swing this one in. Look out for those blue shirts, rising highest to win the header. Naples near side. 2 men for company here. Couldn't hold it up long enough as we've crossed the hour mark here. Still, Italy 2, Indonesia 1. Headed on around the corner. Ooh, that was a much-needed clearance by Binon Boys. And there has been a goal in the other semi-final as well. Polish fans.
For Indonesia, number 26, Vieri.
On the brink of what would be one of their best performances at a tournament in quite some time.
Yeah, it really would. It would cap an incredible tournament that they had. It stemmed from that day 2 run, and that form has just carried on through. They're in a real purple patch at the moment, and again, if I'm either one of these two teams, you probably don't want to hear the noise and the news that Poland are 2-0 up in the other semi-final.
Well, if they get there, they'll be a difficult nation to face. Indonesia would love to get there. They've got 15 or so in-game minutes to get another goal against the Italians. Elga. First time of asking, can't quite lift it towards Jan Koller. Italy surviving as things stand, winning on aggregate. Nice through header there by Eterito. About 10 minutes remain in this one, 20 remain in our other semi-final. Naples forward to Eserito. The Italians, they're looking for the dagger. This is Naples into the box. Can he be beat? The goalkeeper cannot be beat. 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, just trying the exact same trick that Indonesia pulled, but Indonesia giving them something to think about, and there's a rash challenge there with a poor giveaway.
That's incredibly rash. Naples caught dwelling on the ball there, and you can see the Indonesians just with some wry smiles.
For Indonesia, number 6.
The pressure comes in, he's trying to retain that ball. It was only a booking in the end as we cut back to our feature game.
That's harsh. Harsh on Indonesia, that is, as Resmi Faidan tried following the ball all the way through. It'll only be a goal kick, though, for their efforts. And that Naples challenge, Wes, it's starting to look now like it's worth his weight in gold.
Probably the greatest yellow card in eFootball history at this point in time, if it proves to be a almost game-winning challenge.
It's a foul by Indonesia. It was always going to be a battle of the titans here in this semi-final. But if there's something that Indonesia know how to do, it's score late goals. 5 minutes, there or thereabouts, left in this game. Eserito over towards the corner here. To the feet of Naples now, all the way back. Just draining some of that clock in the top left down. That'll be an Italian throw. They are deep in their own half, though. It's difficult sometimes, Wes, isn't it, to get these routines right and not surrender possession over to the other nation.
Yeah, the issue becomes is that if you're not used to playing in that type of style of trying to kill a game off, you play too defensively, you really can put yourself up against it if pressure comes your way.
Well, here we go. Speaking of pressure, this will be a late siege by Indonesia. They need to get something here. They've won themselves a corner in the 90th minute. They trail 2-1 on aggregate. Late goals are what they know. Corner goals are what they know. This could be the best chance they have. If Elga can put this one in dangerously. Headed down towards his teammate. Oh, who's there? It's cleared. It's Naples clearing it. It's hoofed up the pitch by Eserito.
What a half chance that was, as the goalkeeper parries it out and then clears it upfield. It's out for a throw. Indonesia know that that was their opportunity, that was their chance, it was their bread and butter set piece of heading it back into danger. But they weren't able to find the vital touch past the goalkeeper, and Italy were able to clear.
They need to win the ball back imminently here. Indonesia, with their never say die attitude. Italy throw-in successful. And there might just be enough time following this goal kick for an attack, but they have to win the next phase, Wes. They need to. We're in the third of three added on. Headed on for Indonesia. Here we go then. Oh, can't get it through. And for their first FIFAe World Cup appearance, Italy are going to the final. Exarito, Naples and Venom. We'll see you tomorrow. Our reigning champions gave it all till the very end. But there will be a new FIFAe World Cup champion in 2025. The back-to-back dream now dead.
Yeah, commiserations to Indonesia, our reigning champions, but as you can see from the beaming smiles on your screen, it is an all-European final tomorrow in console. It will be Italy versus Poland. Wow. What a game that is lined up to be, Harry.
What a game indeed. All four players will know themselves and know each other very well from the same continent, no doubt training partners. History for Poland as well. Last year, out in groups, they were 2 points adrift from the playoffs. Look at the two coaches. Just sharing some nice moments. The brothers from Poland by way of Scotland. There's only one Zilo. Unbelievable. Poland 2, Saudi Arabia 0 in that other semi-final.
Yeah, I mean, commiserations to our host nation. They've been a joy to watch at times through this competition. Cast your mind back to the group stage where they beat Brazil 3-2 with 10 men. There's been had so many moments. Of course, commiseration to Indonesia. They depart our console brackets as well. But what a final it is set up to be. I would set your watches if you haven't already. It is going to be a classic here in Riyadh.
Well, victory, draw or defeat. Indonesia with the same routine and the same respect. Veracity is down to clean up the scraps of what was an amazing semi-final round. Veracity on you.
Esarito, not only in the debut for Italy in the FIFAe World Cup, did you manage to surpass semi-finals? Now you're through to the grand finals. I have to ask you, that's got to be a pretty feel-good feeling for you.
Of course, I'm so happy, even about my teammates. We train a lot for this achievement. Finally, we show the world that Europe is here. We have all the Europe final, so I'm happy about it.
Well, in that game one, your heart rate was pretty relaxed. You know, you won that one quite comfortably, 1-0. Heading into game two, though, we saw your heart rate spiking all the way up. You reached 150 at one point. Was it at that point that you started to feel the pressure a little bit more?
Actually, yes, because in the first match, we shoot a lot of games. Yeah, we shoot a lot, and we even took a post with Ronaldo. In the second game, we lead 2-0, then we had an unlucky goal, and of course, the game turned against you. And they even took another post, so they was close to equalize, so of course my heart goes fast. But at the end, we managed, we just stay calm after, and we managed to win.
Well, during that pause, I was taking a look at you guys over here at the stage. Your coach was very vocal. You were very vocal. Talk to me a little bit about the communication during that moment.
Yeah, coach is always helping us because he's not only a coach, he was an ex-player actually. We were even competing against each other. So yeah, he's just saying to us, stay calm, don't worry, and so he's helping us with this. Sometimes he's even moving too much the leg and move my monitor, but for the rest it's fine.
Right, well, I know there was a little bit of trash talk at the very beginning of that series, but serious talk, what do you have to say to your opponents, because they put up a good fight?
Yeah, of course, in the beginning interview we were joking, me and Faidan, but we respect them. We know that they are one of the best teams here in the world, and they show us even in previous tournaments. So they have a very great level. So of course I'm sad for them because it can happen. It's part of the game, of the competition. It could be us or them, so that's it.
And what do you have to tell me about how you think Poland are going to look to approach the grand finals against you guys?
Yeah, well, I have to take a revenge with Zilo because I lost just 2 weeks ago a final in another tournament. So let's see. I mean, it's always game by day. Let's see tomorrow. I will wake up or even then.
Well, you know what? It seems like you want to take revenge on every single player at this very tournament. So let's go ahead and check in with Milos and see if they want to claim some revenge of their own.
Thank you, Jasmine. And yes, I mean, Etorito has one more trophy to get, but on this side, it's the Polish squad that are looking towards that final. Gratulacje Polska, gratulacje szanowne panowie. The question is, though, do you think the brother buff is what got you over the line, Osterbuch?
I mean, definitely after a hard day one, we picked each other up, and great day two, we took 5 wins out of 5. We came here again, won against Turkey, incredible team, incredible match, very hard. Now we won against Saudi Arabia. They're amazing. It was not an easy match by any means. So, yeah, I think we have what it takes. The brotherhood definitely helps out, and yeah, we go tomorrow.
And I want to continue with you for a second here. What happens when you're 0-0 game one? What's the thinking line between you and Zilo to try to bring this one back in game two?
I mean, they had chances, we had chances. It was a 50-50 match in the first one. So to be honest, we took the same approach. Hopefully just be more calm, do more passes to the feet instead of just going for headers. And that actually helped us out, and that's how we scored the goal.
I mean, you scored it, you ended the game in a 2-0 Zilo. In moments like that where you feel you're about to get the win, how do you keep yourself from not getting too cocky and having the game slip away from you?
Well, we just defend the same from minute 1 to minute 90. Just be calm, don't rush out with any defender, and it worked, so yeah.
It worked out great. You're playing in here against the host nation. You get a big win. As your brother was saying, there was a long line to get here. Do you feel like you were a dark horse in this tournament? Because they said yesterday you had a 5-game win streak. You surprised a lot of people out there. Do you think that's something that you played into throughout the tournament?
Well, I know for a fact that no one predicted Poland to be in the final apart from my family. So we proved everyone wrong, so we're just ready to take the final tomorrow.
And speaking of which, you heard the words of Etorito on the other side. I mean, you beat him recently. Is there anything you'd like to fire back at him?
Just good luck.
Good luck. All-European final, Osterbuch. Anything to say to Naples and Etorito?
I mean, yeah, just good luck, guys. I know we got to the finals, so let's see who's better.
Gentlemen, any final messages to the Polish fans out there for you?
Co ogląda, co pisze, widzimy te komentarze na YouTube PJ i na Instagramie, na Sosiale, wszystkie, więc dziękujemy za pomoc. No i jutro po mistrzach.
Zilo?
Dziękuję wszystkim.
There you go. We have, of course, the entire management team here supporting them. Poland are going to the grand final against Italy. Gentlemen, I'll let you go rest up. We head back to the studio to recap our day. And what a day it was.
What a day indeed. Thank you so much, guys, on the floor, Milos and Veracity. 2 new nations in the... Therefore, we will have a new console champion tomorrow evening. That final comes your way at 6:30 local time. And this is how the Italians got it done over the defending champions, Chris.
A brilliant first goal as well, and fantastic performance by Italy once again. I mean, to say how consistent they've been every single game, they just seem to always have a way to break you down. Fantastic performance by Italy. Commiserations to now our former champions. They won't have the chance to defend their title tomorrow, but a really, really good performance from them as well.
And then obviously we're battling through these highlights, but Poland as well. Over at the local hopefuls, Saudi Arabia. I mean, it was a stalemate in that first matchup, Alia.
It was. I think the thing you get with those two being siblings as well is you have that natural trust between each other, and coming into a tournament like this, you just need someone you trust. I mean, just looking at that graphic as well, that's just a beautiful sight, but it's going to be a very, very interesting final because, as Chris said, Italy have just been consistent throughout the tournament, but Poland, they've come in now and we can see that they've got a lot to prove.
Yeah, exactly. A band of brothers is what the Polish team kind of describe themselves as. And you can see there on the right-hand side, Italy take on Poland in that all-European grand final tomorrow at 6:30. Again, commiserations, congratulations, though, to get to the semi-finals to Indonesia, Saudi Arabia. Wow, what a journey it's been as well. It started 3 days ago now. It's long, it's arduous, you have to be consistent, and if we look at those two teams, that's exactly what they've done. They were both table toppers, Chris, in their own right, in their groups.
Yeah, and I think, if you'd asked a lot of people at the beginning of the tournament about Italy being top of their group, I think a lot of people would have said, yeah, that's really feasible. For Poland, though, to get top of their group, to find themselves in that grand final, what a phenomenal achievement from them. And you know what I actually love about it as well? There's some real heritage eFootball European players in that grand final. So there's a lot of history there.
Well, it actually meant that they avoided Brazil in the end because they finished top. Indonesia took second spot, therefore went up against Brazil, which you can see on that quarterfinal side. So, for them, getting that top spot earlier made all the difference.
Yeah, that's why it's so important where they place in the group standings, because if Indonesia managed to come up against Turkey, Poland, Saudi or Japan, that would have been so much better for them. But I'm heartbroken for Indonesia. I was so determined. I was like, they're gonna get through, they're gonna do it, but
they nearly did.
They nearly did, but it's time for a new champion.
Yeah, Italy, they were consistent, as you can see from the off, already being in the lead in that first matchup, and that was vital mentally and on the pitch as well.
Yeah, it was a brilliant goal as well. Fantastic start from them. When they go from there, they're a very, very difficult team to beat. So, yeah, really, really good work from Italy. They've just been so consistent all the way through. Going to be a really difficult task for Poland, but doubted them all the way through. So I dare doubt them once again, to be honest with you, Rachel.
I'm going to stay with the Italy side of the story at the moment, because it seems they can kind of get the win whichever way, because in the quarterfinals they lost that first matchup to Mexico 1-0, and then we've seen in the semi-final here they took the first matchup and then continued with that win streak. So it doesn't matter, they go behind, they don't get too worried, and especially they go in front, well, they can continue in that reign of form.
Yeah, I think the one thing Italy have is the mental strength. They know no matter what happens, they can turn it around, they can come back, they can win the games. I think Poland have a very, very tough task tomorrow to try and beat Italy, but it just seems like they have beef with everyone that they're playing in the knockouts at the moment.
These guys play with each other all the time. We're not going to forget that, because obviously there's so many matches happening around the world that these players do come up against each other for. Well, we know we're going to have two new nations in the final tomorrow. Indonesia, unfortunately, are not able to defend their title this year. CA, though, has managed to catch up with the duo.
I'm here with Binong boys from Indonesia. Incredibly tough match. Can you just get your thoughts on that semi-final?
Yeah, it was a tough match. I know it since the beginning, because Etorito is always amazing. Now players also, they are good player, great player. Italia is one of the strongest country in the football for me. Yeah, I think it's so hard to accept it, but they were better than us.
Champions last year, semi-final this year. You have to still be proud of your efforts, your consistency as well.
Yeah, gratefully for that. Alhamdulillah. But I think, I don't know. I just want to enjoy my time right now. I just want to take a rest for a while, and let's see for FIFAe next year.
The support for your nation, the support from Indonesia is incredible as well. Do you have anything you want to say to your friends, family, and fellow countrymen back home?
Yeah, first of all, I want to say thank you to all Indonesia fans, to our family also, and we are so sorry, because we know that we could do better, but it is not something that we expect from the beginning. We came here to be the champion, but unfortunately we've done in the semi-final. So I'm sorry.
Right, well, we loved having you, and we can't wait to see you bounce back next year. Cheers.
I'm here. Of course it hurts right now, but what I said of results, they've got champions last year and then top 4 this year earlier.
Yeah, and I think I love that he thanked the supporters, because the Indonesians, they actually have 2 separate streams going on YouTube at the moment. They had 60,000 people watching that semi-final, but to Indonesia it's just kamu dapat ini, and that means you got this. Come back next year, get your title back, because they are phenomenal.
What's the chat saying? Can you read any of it? Can you
I don't have it open, I'll be honest, but I hope
thought there'd be some amazing words.
I haven't spoken Indonesian in a long time, so please tell me I pronounced it correctly.
It'll still be better than mine.
We can't see, so I'm sure you did. We think it sounded brilliant. Yeah, it's always hard, isn't it, to speak to them, especially when it's so raw like that.
Yeah, but it's nice to see the emotion. I think some people sort of said they don't want to see them crying or they don't want to see the emotion, but it shows how much it really does actually mean to these players that they are downbeat. Yeah, okay, some people say, oh, it's just a game. It's not just a game to these people. It really does mean a lot, represent your country. And they did very, very proudly, and they should be proud of themselves.
Yeah, well, Indonesia this season, or this year, I should say, are semis. Let's, again, talk about the grand final. And we actually are going to nominate our Axe players of the day for today. And surprise, surprise, nominations are all coming from our finalists. Chris.
Yeah, we were asked to nominate, and it was like, well, probably the 4 guys in the final are the ones we have to go for. What a performance from each and every one of them. If I had my pick of the 2, I would have went Naples. Really important goals at the time, and Zilo from Poland had scored an unbelievable goal to get them to that semi-final. They were my 2 picks from this one, but obviously the other 2 boys, Ederida, Osterbrook, fantastic players in their own right as well.
Yeah, Ollie, they all deserve a nomination today, don't they?
They definitely do. And I mean, Ethereto, I love his attitude. I think he's so graceful after the games, but before the games, he's got a good confidence. He knows what he can do, and I just love him as a player.
Yeah, we love all 4 of them. We'll get to see all 4 of them again tomorrow because our grand final comes at 6:30 p.m. If I haven't already said it once, I'll say it again just so you set your alarms for tomorrow evening. In terms of hyping the audience up to come back, guys, what are you going to say to them? Why should they come back and watch this console grand final?
We're going to crown a brand new champion, one that could be historical. You've got the GOAT of eFootball going up against a team that we really didn't expect to find themselves through. Ederito could make massive amounts of history tomorrow.
This is the European final. I mean, you want to be crowned King of Europe, so why wouldn't you watch it?
King of Europe here at the FIFAe World Cup. That's what we're saying, because that's what you get to watch tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. The FIFAe World Cup featuring eFootball console. The grand final. It is between Italy and Poland. Please come back and join us for that one. It's going to be electric.